and welcome to Kenny Kemper and the Superfans. I'm Kenny Kemper, and with me are always the Superfans, Drew Sadler,
Kenny,
Kyle Kemper,
Yep.
and Tony Sadler.
How you doing, Kenny?
Straight from Port Orchard, home to a team known the world over as the Wolves.
The Wolves!
Now the Wolves are off to a rough start, but with a home game against Shelton fast approaching, a win is in perspective. So let's go around the room for some predictions. Drew?
74-3. The Wolves.
I'd have to say Wolves 63, Shelton 12.
Wolves 97 zip.
Alright, and as for myself, I say Wolves 54-7. So one thing's for sure, the winning team will be the Wolves.
The Wolves!
Alright, let's make this interesting. Let's say the Wolves are all about yay high, so mini Wolves versus Shelton. Predictions?
Wolves 18-10.
At Wolves 27-14.
Now is Sigurdsson mini too?
No, he's full grown.
Well, in that case, Wolves 34, Shelton 10.
Whoa, I thought he was mini wolf.
Alright, new scenario. Madden versus Sigurdsson in Madden NFL 2006 for PlayStation 2. Predictions?
Sigurdsson!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Joe Knowles Stadium here at South Kitsap High School. I'm Darren Bowden, DB they call me, and we're back again for another exciting year of the 2005 high school football season. And joining me again in the booth this year will be Mr. David Rodriguez. D-Rod, thank you again for joining us in the booth.
Well, thank you, DB, for having me. Always a pleasure to be back for South Kitsap Wolves football. Really excited to be here and really excited to watch these guys throw down on the field with the Shelton Highclimbers. And it looks to be a good matchup. What do you see as the potent matchup?
Well, we have a very tough opponent tonight, the Shelton Highclimbers, and Shelton brings a very big offensive line, averaging approximately 6'3", 280 across the line. And so they've got a pretty strong running game, and they do an excellent job of pass protection for their quarterback today, who is a junior, a 5'11 junior named Tyler Pacholke. So Shelton up front is going to be strong, but South Kitsap defensively is also a very strong, as well as we also get back the services of 6 foot, 288-pound monster Renard Williams, a junior for the Wolves, who has missed the first 3 games of the year with a broken arm, and he is now back into action. So it will be good to have him back as the Wolves and the Highclimbers break from midfield at the 50-yard line, and we are going to get ready here for the kickoff. So a beautiful evening for football here. South Kitsap is off to somewhat of a rough start. They started the season with a 35-33 loss to the Mercer Island clan over there in the greater Seattle area. Very close game, played at Quest Field this year. They followed the week afterwards against Mountain View here at our place with a 31-21 loss, and in both games, South Kitsap did an excellent job throughout the game and sort of faltered at the end, but South rebounded from the last two losses with a 55-22 thrashing of Port Angeles, and we're getting ready for the Wolves to kick off here from their own 40-yard line. And doing the kicking honors tonight will be Quincy Lyman, a 5'7" sophomore, and the Highclimbers are going to be back to receive as they send three people back, one man deep. That's number 32, Kyle Burbage, as the ball is going straight down the middle. It's going to be fielded at about the 19-yard line, and the offense takes the ball to the right side, close to the side of South Kitsap, and not for very much gain. We're going to call it a gain of about 6 yards, where Shelton will take over first down in their own territory. So the South Kitsap Wolves will be facing that big offensive line for Shelton as they're about here to break the huddle.
This will be a good test for South Kitsap's defense right straight out of the gate to see if they can handle or manage this large, very extra large Shelton offensive line.
Shelton splits wide receivers as they go run with the option to the tailback. He's met early around the 30 and gets a couple of yards forward for a gain of about 3 or 4 yards. It'll be second down. So right off the bat, Shelton goes with the option play. The tailback, number 34, Joe Espino, a 5'10" senior for Shelton. So Espino, though, looking to gain some yardage on the ground with that offensive line for him blocking the way. So, and when you average 6'3", 280, that's not bad. So the Highclimbers send two wide receivers to the far side of the field. Pacholke under center. He takes a strop, looks at hit as he is met, and the ball is still caught by the wide receiver, number 80, Brian Clark. And just as Pacholke was in the midst of throwing the ball, he gets hit by a defensive lineman.
Just ripped, DB, just ripped. Pacholke, I'm surprised he's standing up right now. He can't take too many more of those tonight, or he will be seeing an early exit. Good job by the South Kitsap defensive line to penetrate.
Clark made the catch, and it will be third and 1 to go as they send two wide receivers to the right side. They send a man in motion. They hand the ball off to the tailback once again. That is Espino, and he is able to squirt forward just a little bit, a gain of about 5 yards down to the Shelton 44-yard line as the officials will have a timeout here as they're moving the chains forward. And it also looks like we have a South Kitsap player hunched over a little bit. The South Kitsap High School Athletic Medicine team heads out to the field led by Patrick Olson to see if he is good. So just right off the bat, like we'd said, D-Rod, that Shelton is off to the running game.
Yes, DB, and Shelton already showing off the diversification of their offense by giving us an option, a pass, and a run play to give them a first down. I'm sure South Kitsap was aware of this coming in. They're always very well prepared. When you come up against an offense like this, it's easier said than done to stop them, and South is going to have to really put up a defensive stand. I think they're doing a good job. They forced them in a third down situation, and if they can get them, third down again, we'll see what they can do. This offensive line so far, not necessarily dictating, but definitely powerful, and that's going to be the tone of the game, is how well they can stand up our defense and control the line of scrimmage. So far, they've done what they wanted to on the ground, and the pass play almost looked like it was broken up. It looked like it should have been a dead duck interception. However, Shelton's receivers wide awake and eyes open, ready for the pass. And South's defense unable to capitalize on that. The more penetration they get on this Highclimber offensive line, I think the more frustrated and flustered they'll get throughout the night. So we need to see more of that from the South Kitsap side of things. It looks like our player's okay.
The injured Wolf that is being helped off the field is number 66, Daniel Tahaji. And he's limping just a little bit, but he's able to walk off under his own power, so that's a good sign. We're not quite sure if it was an ankle or a knee, but he looks to be favoring that left or that right foot of his. So hopefully Daniel, he's a pretty tough kid, and he will be back. He is a key to the defensive line out there. So they are gingerly helping him off the field as Shelton is going to have a 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line, getting close to midfield. So South Kitsap will have a test here again as Pacholke has 2 wide receivers. They hand the ball off to the tailback once again, or that's the fullback. That's number 45. That's number 40, Shoemaker.
I think he picked up a first down there, DB, and
that's number 45, Jacob Haynes, a 5'11 sophomore. So
sophomore getting the early call in this game, and he deserves it with a run like that. The offensive line just punching and punching, and his legs just constantly churning and churning. Got the first down.
Haynes with about a 10-yard gain as Pacholke looks like he's mixing up the offense. A man goes in motion. That's Shoemaker. Now he's set in the slot. They pitch the ball out to the tailback, who tries to squirt out to the outside. He doesn't, but he's run out of bounds. Espino did a nice job, and then a flag goes flying, and I believe that that's going to be a late hit coming in against South Kitsap, so look to maybe tack on another 15 yards. Espino was heading, he got around the left corner, and but he was heading out of bounds, and there was no room for him to go, and so he went out of bounds on his own, but the momentum carried the South Kitsap defender along with him, and he wasn't able to hold back. So that's going to be a costly penalty where Shelton was going to have a first down at about the 32-yard line, but scoop that ahead 15 more yards, about the 35, and so it's going to be 1st and 10 for Shelton at the South Kitsap 23-yard line. So Shelton is doing a very good job of moving the ball here early.
We like to see that aggressiveness from South's defense. Let's keep it in bounds.
The sophomore, Haynes, is back into the game. A man goes in motion. They hand the ball off to the man in motion, and that was Espino. And they tried to maybe catch the Wolves off guard, but nothing doing right there, and the Wolves stayed home as Espino took the handoff, and he gets nothing on the gain. In fact, he maybe loses about half a yard, but it's still going to be 2nd down for Shelton. Call it in between, we'll call it the 23.5-yard line. So nice job by the Wolves staying at home there.
Great job by the Wolves defense, smelling the ball, sniffing it out, not falling for a fake up the middle, and going to the right side of that offensive line. We've got 2nd and 10.
Shelton getting a lot of players in and out as they have Espino in there, and now all of a sudden the flags go flying onto the field, and that usually indicates that it's going to be a delay of game against Shelton. So maybe too much of a mix-up as Shelton was unable to get the players in that they wanted. A little confusion on offense, so we're going to scoot them back another 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 15 from the South Kitsap 29-yard line, but Shelton has 2 wide receivers split to the far side of the field. Espino and Barnes. Barnes gets the handoff straight up the middle, and he's not going anywhere. He's met by a pack of Wolves. Nice job by the defense, and he got back to the line of scrimmage. And the Wolves have done a good job here adjusting a little bit. It's going to be 3rd and long for Shelton.
Right now we need to look for a pass play from Shelton. Everybody can see it coming. The Wolves have been in a man coverage against those receivers, and they're going to look to, right now we're going to find out what the passing game of Shelton is made of.
So Shelton driving steadily here until and they even had a penalty, a personal foul penalty, but the Wolves have done a good job of holding him back as they send Chapman and Espino out to the left. Pacholke rolls to his left. He's looking down the field. He's got a man out in the flat, and the ball is in and out of the hands of Espino. He hit him right around the 1st down yard marker, but nice defense there. That's number 13, Corey Dane. And the pass is incomplete, so it would be 4th down and 15 to go for Shelton.
Too long for a field goal, I think, DB. I think they're going to try a punt, put us in the corner.
Not too many high schools have a kicker with the distance field goals this far. From here, it would be about a 46-yard field goal. So Shelton will go for it on 4th down as they send Espino and Chapman again. And now Barnes goes running off the field. Seems to be more confusion. And now I think that Shelton just has called a timeout instead of risk another penalty, which they have done. So a little more confusion on the sidelines there.
And their coach is not happy about that confusion. They're forced to call a timeout only 7 minutes, less than 7 minutes into the game. He doesn't want to burn those timeouts early. I'd be upset too. Shelton looking good on offense and sputtering here the last couple of plays, delay a game, a timeout. Really seem to have the momentum going. The South Kitsap's defense doing a great job of holding their own, not letting anybody push them around here on their home field. Corey Dame with an excellent pass protection play over there on the far sideline, preventing a first down reception from Shelton. He seemed really pumped up for that play. He deserves it. And we'll look to see these defensive backs mix it up, DB.
Well, it looks like Shelton has finally got their act together, and they've got everybody where they want them to be. So Shelton comes out, and it looks as if they are going to kick the ball away. And Corey Dame is in at his own 10-yard line, and it's going to be a small little pooch kick. Dame signals for the fair catch, and it almost touches a Wolf. And, boy, good thing that he didn't. And then he finally lands on it, so it looks like the ball was bouncing around there just a little bit. And lucky break for the Wolves that number 43, Josh Burlingame, did land on it. So they're flirting with danger right in there. But the Wolves, nice defensive stop, and they are going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 6-yard line.
They're pinned back behind, next to their own goal line, behind the 10-yard line. They're going to really have to be careful with the ball, but not too conservative. Otherwise, they could get stuffed.
The South Kitsap offense is led by number 11, senior Kyle Pease, and a host of other Wolves as they come running out here. The tailback tonight, number 24, Chad Fowler, and the fullback is Jonathan Keontang. So the Wolves, Pease under center. He's going to hand the ball off to Fowler. He stutter steps, bounces off his tackle. He tries to get off the right guard, and practically for no gain. So he might have inched forward a little bit, but it looks like it's going to be 2nd down and long for the Wolves. So right off the bat, the Wolves go with the running game as well.
Well, Pease is a very mobile quarterback. He can do a lot of things. Look for him to run a little bit this game. Also, we've got one-on-one, man-to-man isolation with Monty Enyard here on the near sideline. Number 3, the short yet stocky and quick 5'8" senior.
Monty Enyard split out to the left side. Also number 81, David Parker. They've got 3 wide receivers. Pease, he's going to hand the ball off again, and the ball is fumbled just a little bit. And he's still going. Fowler still on his feet, dragging a few players across the 10-yard line. And he will gain about 5 yards on the play. A nice run by Fowler. He was met at the line of scrimmage, but kept the feet going. And he was able to scoot forward for just a little bit more of a gain. It's going to be 3rd down, about 5 yards to go. So a big 3rd down play here for the Wolves early on in the 1st quarter.
That's traditional South Kitsap smash mouth football, run it up the middle and keep those legs pumping. You never know what'll happen.
Enyard is split to the near side of the field. Parker split to the far side. Pease is looking for his man, and he hits him, and he did it. A nice catch by Monty Enyard. He's going to backpedal all the way past the 25-yard line. The ball will be placed at about the 26. So nice pass from Kyle Pease to Monty Enyard, and just like that, the Wolves get a big pass play for a 1st down.
Monty's a tough guy. He'll catch those balls, and it's tough to bring him down. He's little, compact, but he's quick, deceptive, got good hands. He can really do a lot of things. Good job by Kyle Pease recognizing the isolation on the near sideline. And Shelton's defense really respecting the running game so far, giving up the pass play for the 1st down.
The Wolves come out again with 3 wide receivers in an I formation. They pitch the ball out to Fowler. He escapes a tackle, but tackled from behind. He inches forward, give him a gain of about 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Wolves. So nice defensive stop there by number 72, Schlotteroff for Shelton. So, and the Shelton Highclimbers big on the defensive line as well, as Kyle Pease is getting the play from head coach DJ Sigurdsson from the sideline. The offensive coordinator, Coach Eric Canton, as now the Wolves send Chris Hogan and David Parker to the far side of the field. Pease is going to hand the ball off to Fowler straight up the middle, and he sidesteps him, and he tries to get through 2 men. It does a really nice job. He gets close to the 45-yard line. It was a really nice run by Fowler.
Fowler, the sidewinder, bumping and turning right through the middle, up to almost midfield. Big time 1st down for South Kitsap, really making Shelton think about that missed opportunity they had down on South Kitsap's end of the field just a few minutes ago. South now really got the momentum on their side, showing Shelton what they're made of on offense.
Fowler with a nice gain of about 17 yards on the play.
Excellent run.
Wolves will have 1st and 10 near midfield at their own 43-yard line. Pease under center. He's going to fake the handoff. Does a nice job. Right when his edge releases, a nice catch. Oh, the ball is fumbled, and I think they will rule it a catch and a fumble, and yes, they are. That was number 81, David Parker, with a bullet strike from Kyle Pease. But right when Parker caught the pass, he was drilled and fumbled the ball. And so an early turnover by the South Kitsap Wolves. And Shelton will have the ball at their own 42-yard line. And right off the bat, the Wolves in trouble with a turnover.
Well, Parker comes down with the ball. Great catch and a nice pass from Kyle Pease. That Mack truck coming across the middle. One of those safeties for Shelton comes across and just pops and ball comes loose. Turnover, South Kitsap.
So Pacholke and the Highclimbers will have a second chance. And Renard Williams almost gets through. He does. I think he even tipped that pass as the ball was intended for Espino in the right flat. And Williams got right through, almost untouched, as Pacholke was through the pass. And I think he did deflect it. So the pass would be incomplete. And it's going to be 2nd and long for the Highclimbers.
That was an Ed Too Tall Jones style double-handed swat of that attempted pass from Shelton's quarterback. He doesn't look that fast, but boy, can he move. Excellent defensive play from South Kitsap.
Clark goes in motion. They hand the ball off to Espino. And Espino, he gets out to the left side. He's being chased down by Corey Dame, and Corey Dame takes him out near the 30-yard line. Nice run by Espino and a huge gain of about 25 yards on the play.
Well, he just got some blockers up the left sideline. You got one blocker, and it kind of Shelton's been mixing it up. You know, the Wolves' defense isn't really exactly sure where they're going every play. Doing a good job so far of sniffing balls out. This time, got burned up the left sideline.
A nice hole created by that offensive line on the left side for Shelton. So a big play. It's going to be at the South Kitsap 36-yard line as they send a man in motion. That's Clark, who turns a little bit far. I can't believe they didn't throw a flag on that. He started running up before the play was even snapped, but no penalty on the play. Luckily, there's no gain for Shelton, and it will be 2nd and 10 for Shelton. But Clark went in motion, getting close to the near side of the field. He started turning up the field before the ball was snapped and no flag was thrown.
Well, Shelton's offense somewhat unorthodox. You never know where they're going to go with their snap counts or what. I think maybe even the officials are trying to catch their breath a little bit out here on the field.
So Shelton sends 2 wide receivers to the near side of the field. That's Chapman and Tuttle split, and the flag is thrown, and Espino takes the handoff straight up the middle, but a penalty flag is thrown.
Number 83, Lars Christensen, a little too early on the movement that time, DB. They can't get away with it twice in a row. They're going to get nailed for early movement.
And it is against Shelton, so they're going to nullify that play, and they'll scoot it back a few yards. So a penalty on Shelton, and it will be 2nd down and 15 yards to go for the Highclimbers.
South's defense really getting some early tests here in this game and not giving up 1 inch. Really showing the Shelton offensive line, hey, you're not going to come in here and push us around like you think you would like to. We're really going to do a job of standing you up. Getting some early penalties here in their favor. South's defense got to dig in, stand them up again.
The South Kitsap defense refuses the penalty. A pretty smart play, because now it will be 3rd down for the Highclimbers and 6 yards to go. Clark or Espino, they hand the ball straight and they look for the pass in the ball, and they got a man wide open and he's going to catch it, and it is caught by number 34, Espino, right as Pacholke is hit again.
Pacholke takes another huge hit from the South defensive line, and I think they paid the price. He's going out of the game.
Pacholke was hit as he threw it, and the pass turned into a duck. And fortunately for Shelton, Espino was able to still slow down. He had to adjust his route and slow down to catch the ball, but he did. A nice catch by Espino, and it is going to be 1st and goal for Shelton at the South Kitsap 4-yard line.
South Kitsap got caught in his zone that time, linebacker on a receiver.
Pacholke hands the ball off to Espino, and Espino barrels his way forward, and he gets into the end zone for a touchdown. So a 4-yard touchdown run by Shelton, and quickly they are on the board.
South Kitsap gambled with the 3rd and 6, got burned.
The South Kitsap defense did a nice job on that pass play as they got to the quarterback, but Pacholke was still able to get the pass off. Not much you could do about that. And the defensive back had unfortunately allowed Espino to get in behind him as Shelton will attempt the extra point. The kick is up and it is good. So with 3:30 remaining here in the first quarter, the Shelton Highclimbers take a 7-0 lead over the South Kitsap Wolves. But D-Rod, there's a lot of football left here tonight.
There's a lot of football left, and even though the defense has given up a touchdown here, first quarter, they have really put the helmet into the rib cage of the quarterback, number 7, Pacholke for Shelton. That's 2 ducks they forced up. Unluckily for South, both of them have been big-time receptions for Shelton. They just got to keep their nose to the grindstone. It'll pay off. They're getting some big-time plays. Those ducks won't fall in the hands of Shelton receivers for long. Shelton lining up to kick off to the right side to South Kitsap. We've got number 21 for South Kitsap.
That's Cedric Carter, and also number 24, Chad Fowler, are back to receive the kickoff for the Wolves, as number 30 for Shelton, that's Jeff Carroll, is going to do the kicking here after a 4-yard touchdown run by number 34, Joe Espino. So Shelton getting ready for the kickoff here, and the Wolves can't wait to get the ball back. It's a little scooter right up the middle, and it's taken down, and it's taken quickly. That is Chris Hogan, the 5'8 senior. So Shelton did not want to risk kicking the ball deep. And
was that intentional kick? The intentional squib kick attempt, or was that just did he just muff the kick?
I think that he intentionally tried to squib the kick down there, and with the good hands by Hogan, he was able to hang on to it. And South Kitsap is going to have excellent field position at their own 44-yard line. So what was supposed to look like a squib kick turned into good field position for the Wolves, and the Wolves hopefully will be able to come out and start doing some more damage. They were doing a very good job on offense the first time around. Unfortunately suffered a setback with a turnover, but the Wolves will be hanging in there as a little confusion on defense. Enyart is split to the near side, I formation, and the flags go a-flying, and that means that most likely it is going to be a delay of game on South Kitsap, so taking a little bit too much time of getting the play into the huddle, and South Kitsap will scoot back 5 more yards. They're going to have the ball at their own 39-yard line. So both sides looking just a wee bit sloppy, but I think once they'll get going here, as the Wolves send 2 wide receivers to the far side, that is Carter and Parker, as they look for the pass out to the flat to Fowler. He was around the 35-yard line, but the Shelton Highclimbers had it very well defended, and the pass is going to be incomplete, and it will be second long for the Wolves.
Cedric Carter really looking to get his hands on the ball, coming up the left sideline here on the near side. South Kitsap went for the pass play. He didn't get the handoff. He was still running up the field, dreaming of 6. South lines up, 2 on the near sideline, 1 on the far.
Parker is split to the far side with Enyart and Carter on the near side. Pease is going to hand the ball off to Fowler, and he has a huge hole. He does a little sidestep dancing, and he went down. It looked like his knee was down, and it was. Then he got back up, but we didn't hear any whistles. And now the flags go flying, and it looks like they might call a personal foul against Shelton for a late hit after the play was ruled dead.
Well, what happened was Parker went down, 65, big man for Shelton. 65, Nathan Kimball comes across and makes helmet-to-helmet contact, and 3 officials' flags instantly fly. Lingerie on the field. That's going to be a 15-yard personal foul against Shelton. That's going to give us 15 yards and a first down. You just can't put your helmet on another guy's helmet like that. That's how kids get hurt. That's how football players get hurt, and we will not have that. Shelton feeling the pain of penalties now.
41, Stephen Tucker is now in at tailback for the Wolves. As they hand the ball off to Tucker, and he tries to barely get through. He almost escaped it. A nice hole there as Tucker gained a few yards on the play. So tack on a 15-yard penalty to a big gain by Fowler, and the Wolves are now in high climber territory as they will have the ball at the Shelton 34-yard line. So South Kitsap doing doing a good job of their own with the running game here.
They're really establishing the ground game, which is Very traditional South Kitsap style football. Pound, pound, pound on the ground. Good things will happen.
Enyart and Carter to the left side. Parker's the lone wide receiver to the right. They're going to hand the ball off to, that is Tucker again. Tucker, Carter, and Parker. Boy, I tell you, that's going to keep us busy all night.
I'm working up a sweat up here. The Shelton defensive line really clogging that hole. Tucker having nowhere to go, gets stood up and dropped for a loss.
Not much on the gain. It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Wolves at the Shelton 33-yard line. So South Kitsap sticking with the running game. We're going to have a stoppage of play here briefly. It looks like an official's timeout. We haven't seen any flags. They just have, looks like an equipment check. And they are back to form now. So South Kitsap under center is Kyle Pease at quarterback. Tucker is the tailback once again. Pease with a 3-step drop. He's looking for a man, and he's got him. And it's intercepted. The pass was intended for Carter and the defender, and that is Espino. And Espino just made the interception and stayed on his feet, gets down near the 30-yard line. But there are a couple of penalty flags down.
I think that's after the interception. I think it's going to be against South Kitsap for blocking the back.
South Kitsap is going to. We're going to have to wait and see what the penalty is, but it is so yes, there is a turnover, interception. It is against Shelton, but they will retain possession, and it will be first down in deep territory for Shelton. And I think we're going to try and throw it down to Clayton Pate for a sideline report. Clayton, you got anything for us? Okay, we're getting word that looks like we're going to have one we're going to have one here at the quarter break. So anyway, Shelton gets the turnover here, the second turnover here in the first quarter for the Wolves. The first one was a completed pass and a fumble, and this one, the pass from Pease to Carter.
An excellent defensive play from Shelton. He just snatched that right out of the air.
So 1st and 10 for Shelton, deep in their own territory at about their own 10-yard line. As Pacholke is looking for a little 3-step drop. He's got a man out in the flat, and he's going to overthrow him a little too much there. That's the intended receiver was number 40, Gabe Shoemaker.
And that's
so
a
the
big
pass incomplete, and it will be 2nd and 10 for the Shelton Highclimbers.
If Shoemaker catches the ball, I don't want to be the guy that has to tackle him. That guy's a load. He's normally a linebacker, junior, 6'1", 235. He's a big man coming down.
He's been doing a little bit of the running tonight at fullback position as well. So anyways, it will be a 2nd down for Shelton as they come out with the pass deep in their own territory. They have split backs. They're going to hand the ball off to, looks like Espino, and he tries to bounce off to the outside, and it was a nice hit there. That was number 21, Carter.
Number 21, Carter, and number 5, also Bruce Fernie coming across to help out with the tackle.
A nice run there for Shelton as they get past the first down marker. The clock will stop with 1:08 left in the first quarter as they move the chains, and more substitutions coming in for Shelton. So Shelton doing a good job of sustaining the run here.
Doing their part to mix it up with the pass, though. They seem to be fairly accurate. I think their quarterback might be a little gun shy at this point after taking 2 ferocious hits from the South Kitsap defense on pass plays.
Shelton, 2 wide receivers now. Clark goes, that's Espino goes in motion. They fake the handoff, and they hand the ball off to Barnes, the sophomore, but he's going to be taken down by Corey Dame and David Hamrick. A nice job of staying home there by the 2 South Kitsap defenders, and it will be 2nd down for Shelton. Nice job there by Hamrick and Dame.
The 5'11", 150-pound senior Hamrick really doing a nice job with that open field tackle. South Kitsap's defense gets ready to set up. Number 21, Cedric Carter defending on the near sideline here.
Man goes in motion. That's number 23, Matt Tuttle. As Pacholke looks for a man, and he's got a man up deep, and he won't be able to get it as he got behind the secondary. The intended pass was for number 9. That's Chapman. As the end of the first quarter the play comes to an end. There is a penalty flag down and it is against Shelton. So Shelton goes into the quarter break with a 7-0 lead over South Kitsap, and we are going to go down to the sidelines here with Clayton Pate. Clayton, what do you have for us?
He hasn't been able to suit up since then, but does look forward to returning soon. An interesting side note, lineman Mike Cook injured his ankle in the same game. Now he hasn't been practicing, but he has been suiting up for games. That's all I have for you down here. Back to you in the booth.
Shelton's got a lot to think about on the sideline during this quarter break. One thing they really need to consider is their quarterback, who has taken 3 vicious hits from South Kitsap safeties and linebackers on blitzes. He's getting the ball off. That last hit, he was absolutely pancaked and flattened. I don't think he got the license plate of that truck because South Kitsap just absolutely leveled him. He's going to be gun shy, I believe, in the second quarter. They're going to look to run it a little bit more because if he keeps taking these types of hits, DB, he's not going to be in the game in the second half.
Cholke has taken a couple of severe hits as he has thrown the ball, but a couple times it's hurt the Wolves for a couple of big pass completions, which led to an early touchdown. And the last pass attempt by Pacholke was for Chapman, who had beaten the secondary. And unfortunately for the Wolves, it was just a little bit too far out of their reach. So on the incomplete pass, and they will change ends here, Shelton will come out at their own 25-yard line, and they will have a 2nd down and 5 yards to go. They have a man in the slot. Pacholke fakes the pass and handoff, and it is a draw, and it's going to Espino, and Espino does a good job of taking the handoff and getting past the 30-yard line. We're going to mark it down at the 33, where it will be a 1st down for Shelton. So again, Shelton doing a good job of sustaining the running game.
Spreading the field out on the near sideline, the middle opening up. Pacholke hands it off. Big time gain. 1st down, Shelton.
So Shelton coming out here, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. Pacholke sends Clark in motion to the near side. They're going to fake the handoff. They go straight up the middle, but South Kitsap does not go for it. Nice job of staying home. Looks like no gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd down for Shelton. And so far the pattern has been South Kitsap doing a nice job on defense, just unfortunately giving up a big play every now and then on a 2nd or a 3rd down. And if they can cut down on that, they will be right in this game, which they still are, with just under 11 minutes left in the game here in the 1st half.
Number 43, Josh Burlingame on that nice tackle up the middle.
So a 2nd and 10 for Shelton at their own 33. Pacholke fakes the handoff. He's going to roll out to his left, and he's got a man wide open as he gets hit, and he still has to come back, and he does make the catch, and that's Chapman as he's being chased down from behind, taken down by Ryan Cosgrove, as Pacholke again gets hit as he releases it, throws up a duck.
Pacholke isn't going to get up after another one of those. That's the 4th time he's been destroyed in the backfield for the Shelton Highclimbers. What amazes me is that he threw that ball up into a pack of Wolves, and the Shelton receiver still caught it, and he escaped for another 20 yards.
The pass horribly underthrown, but Chapman was able to come back and still catch the ball, as we were talking about earlier, that one big play, and Shelton will have a 1st down at their own 21-yard line as they hand the ball off to Barnes, big Barnes, and he barrels his way forward over the right guard, getting near the 1st down marker. Looks like a gain of about 9 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 1 for Shelton, driving into South Kitsap territory.
Well, Shelton just doing a good job of mixing up the plays, throwing a lot of players in motion in the backfield. South Kitsap not really sure where the ball's going.
Shelton breaking the huddle. They're going to send Clark and Chapman split to the left side. Barnes gets the handoff once again, and there's a nice big hole created for him as a couple of defenders. That is Bruce Fernie and Jesse Galligan on the stop for South Kitsap. but it is a little too late as the Shelton Highclimbers get into the red zone, and they will have a 1st and goal at the South Kitsap 4-yard line as Barnes and Shoemaker are in the backfield in the I formation, led by Shoemaker, and it looks like Barnes just might get the call again as Clark goes motion to the far side of the field. And there's the ball is fumbled by Pacholke, and the ball looked like it was still on the floor, and South Kitsap is indicating that they have it, and they do. What a costly error by Shelton. Pacholke went away without the ball, and he fumbled it, and what should have been an easy scoring opportunity for Shelton is now turned into a big play for South Kitsap.
Pacholke mishandled the snap. He tried to recover it, and before you knew it, there was a South Kitsap defender in the backfield for the Highclimbers. Gets rid of the ball. Pacholke drops the ball again, and we fall on the ball. South Kitsap falls on the ball. Our ball going the other way. We'll see if South Kitsap can dig themselves out of this hole and maybe come back for a score. I think Coach Seeger's going to take a field goal or anything at this point.
So a couple of big pass plays and running plays put Shelton in prime time position for a touchdown, and they turned the ball over. So big break for the Wolves as Fowler gets the ball, bounces off. Nice run by Fowler. He was met near just past the line of scrimmage, kept his feet driving, bounced out to the left side, and he got a nice little gain on it. We'll call it a gain of 3. It's going to be second down for the Wolves.
Number 80, Brian Clark, the defensive back for Shelton with the tackle there. Good job of Shelton keeping South Kitsap from busting off any big plays thus far.
South Kitsap sends Parker to the near side of the field. Enyart is on the far side. Fowler is the tailback. They're going to hand the ball to Fowler, and he is met quickly. That's number 65 for Shelton, Nathan Kimball.
Nathan Kimball, our South Kitsap's guy's on the ground. He just lands right on top of him. He's going to better watch it. He'll have another penalty on his hands. Keep an eye out for number 65.
A nice
Shelton.
run by Fowler, and he gets near the 1st down marker. It's going to be 3rd and short for South Kitsap. We'll call it 3rd and 2 yards to go. So big play here for South Kitsap. Pease under center, looks over the defense. He's going to hand the ball off to Fowler, and he's not going to get very far. He might have gotten forward. I think maybe he did get the 1st down. Looked like the defense was right there, but Fowler was able to juke to his left, and he was able to get the 1st down. So nice job by Fowler.
Just pounding it up the middle. 65, Kimball on the tackle again on the play. Kimball, for Shelton, he's a senior, 5'10 senior, 255, carries a big load.
So South Kitsap with the turnover deep in their territory as Shelton looked like they were going to score. Now Pease, he's going to hand the ball and roll to his right. He's got a man out in the flat. That's a nice pass and catch there, and he's going down the sideline. Excellent run. He's keep going, and he's going to go all the way in for the touchdown. Touchdown, DeAndre Jackson. An 80-yard touchdown pass play from Kyle Pease to DeAndre Jackson, and South Kitsap, just like that, gets on the board.
Shelton not even expecting the no-name to come from the backfield and bust a run up the right sideline for a big 6.
Jackson, the 5'6 sophomore, out in the flat. Nice pass by Pease, and nobody was there to cover him. Looked like blown coverage by Shelton as Quincy Lyman is getting set to do the kicking, and the point after touchdown for the Wolves. The kick is up, and it is perfect down the middle. And with 8:28, the South Kitsap Wolves are right back in this game and have tied the score at 7. And D-Rod, that's what we were talking about earlier, is how turnovers can make a big difference.
Absolutely. Shelton had the ball on our 4-yard line going the other way. One little turnover, a couple minutes later, instead of 14-0, it's tied up at 7-7. South Kitsap needs to take advantage of this next defensive opportunity. Stop Shelton, maybe tack on another score before half.
What easily could have been a 14-0 lead has turned into a 7-7 tie. So South Kitsap with a couple of turnovers themselves in this first half, but is counteracted by Shelton with a turnover with himself. They had a first and goal from the South Kitsap 4-yard line and fumbled the ball. And just like that, a couple of plays later, South Kitsap with the deep pass play. And now it looks like South Kitsap has a little momentum going their way.
Yeah, I think Coach Sigerson and Coach Canton kind of dug deep in the playbook for that one. I don't think Shelton was expecting that at all. As soon as 38 got in the open, there was no one around him except for South Kitsap Wolves. No one there to tackle him. And he really sprinted up that right sideline. No chance to catch him.
Quincy Lyman with the kick from the 40-yard line. It's going to be a little pooch kick, and it's going to be taken by number 24 of Shelton at his own 25-yard line. He's going to get a gain of almost 10. We'll call it a gain of about 9 yards, and that's Matt Hartman, a 5'10 senior for Shelton. So they're trying to keep the ball away. Lyman doesn't want to kick it deep, and Shelton will have the ball at their own, we'll call it the 34-yard line. So Shelton getting the ball back here after an 80-yard touchdown pass and reception pass play for Kyle Pease.
We'll see what South Kitsap can do with this major momentum shift. I was about to call it a little momentum shift, but not really. South Kitsap's taking the wind out of the sails of Shelton. We'll see what they can do here on defense.
Number 32 is split to the far side. That's Kyle Burbage for Shelton. Now he goes in motion to the near side of the field, and they're going to try, and they do. They're going to hand the ball off to Burbage, and he's got nowhere to go. Nice defensive stop. You bet. Number 13, Corey Dame, and he says, how do you do on a Friday night?
Boy, they are pumped up. South Kitsap's defense is ready to go now. It took them about 1 quarter to warm up, and I think Coach Sigerson's boys are ready to rock and roll with the Shelton Highclimbers tonight.
Nice job by the defensive line up front. That's Andrew Thatcher, Raynard Williams, and Landon Ludwig up front doing an excellent job there, forcing the running plays outside if they can, and then they are met by the defensive backs.
Wolves' defensive linemen are licking their chops now.
Also, there is number 67, Joe Bettinger, and they were going to send Barnes in motion, but there's another penalty flag, and that will probably indicate a delay of game. So Shelton has had a couple of those here tonight, and there is a little bit of a momentum swing here going for South Kitsap against Shelton right now.
DB, correct me if I'm wrong, but getting into the head of the quarterback with some of those blitzes, getting into his chest, might have put it back on his heels a little bit, and this offense is a little tentative at this point.
Big Barnes goes in motion, and they're going to hand the ball off to, that's the tailback, Espino again. And Espino, he looks like he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, so we'll send it back, the gain of 5 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 10 for Shelton.
Shelton's most likely going to go with a pass play here. South Kitsap's gotten burned a couple times in the zone coverage. We'll see if they stay home in the man-to-man this time. Shelton getting the play in from the sideline and lining up. They don't want another delay of game penalty. They better get up to the line and get the play off.
Pacholke overlooking the defense. He's going to roll out to his right. Looks like a pass play. He's got a man out in the flat, and it is, and it's caught by number 40, Shoemaker, and he stays on his feet. He takes a couple of Wolves with him, and it's going to be about a 20-yard pass reception and completion. So a big play by Shelton to take the ball into Wolves territory.
The rollout by Pacholke, number 40, Shoemaker, the 6'1", 235 junior. Tough to take down there in the flat. South going for the big hit on the quarterback again. Didn't get it that time. Got burned a little bit.
So another big play there. South had a couple of nice defensive stops, and they unfortunately give up a big play here. So Shelton's got the ball in Wolf territory now, and they're going to hand the ball off to Espino, and Espino tries to stutter his way up the middle, a small gain, where it will be 2nd down for the Highclimbers. So Shelton, as they've been doing all night, a few big plays here and there, but South Kitsap will turn right around and stop them a few times as well. So basically what we're seeing is a really good football game overall here.
Mostly run versus run with a couple of trick plays out of the playbooks, turning into more of a smash mouth, slamming up the gut over and over again type of game. It's going to be blood, sweat, and tears down on the field tonight.
Espino splits to the far side. There's only a lone setback, and that's Barnes. They're going to hand the ball off to Barnes, and he's got a big hole, and he's trying to scoot, and he's taken down by Carter. Nice hit by Carter there to knock him over, but not until he until Espino gets, or no, that was Barnes here on the play. We got to get the numbers right here. Barnes had a big play, and then Carter comes flying in and knocks him down as Barnes gets down to the South Kitsap 19-yard line. So, again, Shelton is driving here, but the last time they did this, they turned the ball over. So that is one thing that they are going to try to avoid, and that's the one thing that South Kitsap hopes that they do again.
Barnes seemingly they're quite easily penetrating deep into South Kitsap secondary.
Pulvergrek, he splits out to the far side. They hand the ball off to, that's number 34, the tailback, Espino, and Espino is not able to get very far, but as time is kind of winding down here with just under 4:20 left in the first half, tied at 7, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 for Shelton after there is no gain on the play by Espino. So South Kitsap kind of figuring out this running game here, and if they can just stop giving up some of the bigger plays, they're going to have maybe a better chance to move the ball themselves when they get the ball here.
South Kitsap lining up on defense, bringing 5 to the line. And Shelton, again, forced to take another timeout. That can't make Coach too happy for Shelton. However, getting late in the first half, these timeouts, use them if you need them. And Shelton's calling a timeout to discuss things, see if they can possibly punch the ball into the end zone, maybe get a big gain, take a lead and going into halftime. Right now it's tied at 7-7. Shelton working from right to left. They're in the white jerseys, black pants. South Kitsap on the near sideline, maroon jerseys with white pants. South Kitsap's defense really the story of the game so far, doing a good job of holding up Shelton's run, giving up a few big plays up the middle here and there, and a couple of pass plays deep over the middle where Shelton's receivers are just flat out running South Kitsap's secondary. Sometimes we get a little linebacker on a receiver in the zone, and that seems to be working to Shelton's advantage. Shelton talking about it. Well, let's look for Shelton's coach to pull a play out of the playbook and see if they can punch it into the end zone here. South Kitsap looking like they're setting up in a zone in the backfield. We'll see what they can do with Shelton this time.
So after Shelton's second timeout, they're going to send Clark and Chapman to the far side of the field, and Espino and Barnes are in the backfield. Clark goes in motion. They're going to hand the ball off to Espino, but it's a fake. Pacholke, he's going to look for a man out in the flat, and his pass is incomplete. Nice defensive stop there by number 16 for the Wolves. See if we can get a number on that one. Couldn't quite get a number on who that was, but that was a nice defensive stop there for South Kitsap. Pacholke had a man in the flat cutting across the far side of the field, and a nice defensive stop there for South, and it's going to be 3rd and 10 for Shelton as time stops here, and if South Kitsap plays their cards right, they might even be able to get the ball back here before the half is over as Pacholke goes under center, and he is going to drop back. He's going to look for a man, and he does, and he's just going to throw it up to the corner of the end zone, and it's going to be intercepted. Oh, the pass is incomplete. It looked like it was going to be intercepted right there. That was a nice job by number 21. That's Cedric Carter on the defense right there, and he's pretty excited about that play. Good defensive stop, and it's going to be 4th and 10 for Shelton.
Cedric Carter, the 5'9" junior defensive back, in on almost every defensive play that Shelton throws at the South Kitsap defense. Doing a great job tonight, locking them down.
Good job by Carter there on defense. South Kitsap, they're a little confusion there as Shelton is going to go for a field goal. It's going to be about a 37-yard field goal attempt, and it is going to be no good.
Wide left.
Pulled it to the left, so South Kitsap was off a little bit. Looked like they were a little surprised that Shelton was going to go for the field goal, but turned out to be a pretty good thing. And they've got a lot of time left here in the first half with 3:33 remaining. So, again, another momentum swing here. Shelton driving into South Kitsap territory, and they are unable to get any points on the board. South Kitsap bearing down and doing a nice job on defense.
South Kitsap takes over on downs after the missed field goal wide left by the Shelton special teams unit, and they line up wide right and wide left.
Fowler is the tailback. Pease is going to hand the ball off, and he fumbles it. Looked like he was going to fake the handoff, and there was a little confusion in the backfield, and the ball was fumbled, but luckily the Wolves recover. But not until they lose about 4 yards on the play, and it's going to be 2nd down and long for the Wolves deep in their own territory. The ball is going to be marked at their own 16-yard line.
Not the play you want that deep in your own territory. South Kitsap needs a little better communication here if they want to try to keep the Shelton Highclimbers from possibly scoring again before the half.
Jason Reed into the ball game to the near side of the field. Pease is going to hand the ball off to Fowler, who tries to scoot his way forward, and he does it. He stays on his feet. Oh, and he tries to stutter step back out to the right side, but he accidentally goes down, but not until he gets a big gain. And the chains will move and the clock will stop as the ball is placed just on the other side of the 30-yard line. So nice job by South Kitsap there as Fowler comes out of the game. He looks like he's limping just a little bit.
A little banged up on the play, but what a run by Chad Fowler, number 24, the 5'7" junior tailback. Great run, keeping his feet moving, getting rocked over there in the middle of the field, staying on his feet, keeping hold of the ball.
Into the game at tailback is Tucker, the sophomore, who did a nice job of carrying, and he's going to get the call again, but he is met quickly by Shelton, and he will get no gain on the play, and it will be second down for the Wolves at their own 30-yard line. No gain on the play. Nice job by Shelton to stay home there.
Shelton's defense doing their part to keep South Kitsap from getting on the board before half as well. Let's not forget about their toughness as well. Some of these guys playing both sides of the line for Shelton, offense and defense.
Jason Reed still in the game as Monty Enyart also splits to the far side of the field. Fowler is back into the game now at tailback. Pease, he's looking for a man, and he's got Reed. It's a little high, but really nice coverage there by Shelton. That's number 32, Kyle Burbridge, as the pass is incomplete, and it will be 3rd and long for the Wolves.
South Kitsap dropped back, Shelton dropped back into his own. They got double coverage on the near sideline. Rather have man coverage on that. Shelton doing a good job of reading South Kitsap's offense at this point.
South Kitsap with 2 minutes to go here in the first half, tied at 7 with Shelton. So South Kitsap looking to make a big play here as they're going to send a slot wide receiver to the left. That's Chris Hogan. Pease under center. He is looking to his left, and he does. He's got Hogan out in the flat. Nice catch, and the ball is going to go out of bounds. Excellent pass reception. Nice job by Hogan. Nice pass play by Pease. And it is going to be caught for a first down.
Great job to not only catch the ball, run with the ball, get past the first down marker, first down, stop the clock. Great job.
Good clock management right there. And what that means is that excellent coaching, which South Kitsap has had for years, that wonderful South Kitsap coaching staff. So South doing a nice job here. Would really like to get some points on the board before the half as South Kitsap comes out again in the I formation. Pease is going to hand the ball off to Fowler, and there isn't much room anywhere up that middle again. It gets pretty clogged up, so they're going to call no gain on the play, and it will be 2nd and long as the clock keeps running now with 1:40 left here in the first half. And the one thing South doesn't want to do is to make any kind of a mistake by rushing it too much.
Well, the Shelton defensive line, anchored by number 77, Zach Corbett, the 6'4", 265 senior, doing a great job of plugging up the middle.
So South Kitsap with the 2nd and long here. Pease looking over the defense. They're going to fake, and he's going to roll out to his right, and he's going to have a man. Oh, yes, and he was bumped, but Pease decides to keep it, and instead he stays on his feet. Unfortunately, though, he's going to get a first down. He gets into Shelton territory, but there's a penalty flag near midfield, or near the 45. We'll call it. That's thrown at the 44-yard line. And it's going to be against Shelton in a face mask. So a big break for South Kitsap. It was a first down anyways. I can only imagine that they're going to, they're probably, I don't know if they'll accept it or not. I think it's only going to be a 5-yard incidental face mask. But still, they're going to tack on another 5 yards and move it to the Shelton 39-yard line. So a big break for the Wolves there, getting the face mask penalty.
When you see a flag like that fall in the backfield, you expect it to be offensive holding. South Kitsap gets lucky, and they get a first down. +5.
So a big break for the Wolves here as the clock is now under a minute running as number 81, David Parker, split near the near side of the field. Pease fumbles the snap, tries to do something with it, and he's unable to, and he's been having a little bit of difficulties with that tonight from the center there. They started off okay, but the last few plays on the last few drives, Pease has had a little bit difficulty coming away with the ball on the snap.
I think he and the center are having a little problem with the 2-minute offense. He's bobbled the ball twice in the last 2 plays. First one got lucky. That time, not so lucky. Gets tackled for a loss. South Kitsap not looking so sharp with this little momentum roll they've got going for them. They really need to make sure to keep the communication sharp on offense. Right now, we've got 41.5 seconds left in the second quarter. South Kitsap would be much to their advantage if they could put 3 or 7 points up on the board before we go into the locker rooms for halftime. Shelton looking very nice, looking very sharp out here tonight. If they find themselves down at halftime, that could be a demoralizer for them. Maybe they think, oh, we thought we were better than this. A lot of psychological mind games that go out here on the field. Shelton's defense really just doing a solid job of anchoring the run defense for the Highclimbers.
Well, at halftime, we're going to have a special treat. We're going to go down to Clayton Pate here as soon as the half hits. And we'll tell you about that here in just a second as we have a special guest, a former South Kitsap grad who is back here in town. As it's going to be second and long for the Wolves here. Pease is going to drop back. Looks like it's going to be a screen, and it is. And it's caught by Monty Enyart, and he's going to stay on his feet. He almost stumbles, and he's going to bounce around to the outside. He gets around to the 20, spins around, taken down at the 21. But there is a penalty flag down, thrown on the field about the 35-yard line. The officials are talking it over with one another, and a lot of times that looks like it's going to be an illegal block in the back or a hold of some kind.
Looks like it's going to go against Shelton.
South Kitsap applauding as if it is going to be against Shelton. And no, they're waving off the penalty. So wave off the penalty, and South Kitsap gets a big pass play, and they are threatening to score here. The ball is going to be placed at their own 21-yard line.
And Shelton's head coach is jumping up and down on the far sideline. Head coach Matt Hinkle really upset that was an incidental flag, no penalty.
So the clock keeps running here with about 25 seconds left. Pease is going to pitch the ball out to Fowler. He's looking for a block. Oh, and he slips and he falls, and he had a little bit of green in front of him at the 20-yard line. South Kitsap is going to call another timeout here. Fowler had a blocker in front of him. He had a little bit of room to gain about another extra 5-10 yards, maybe even get into that end zone. But when he tried to turn the corner, he slipped and he fell. And down he went at the 20. But South Kitsap will retain possession with the timeout here with the 19 seconds left, as this would be a big boost to South if they could get some points on the board here before half.
You got an extra flat ahead screwdriver or anything, DB, we could throw down in the field and clean up those cleats a little bit. Maybe we get 6 out of that.
And maybe we could throw that screwdriver down to the mic too, because we have a special guest here. We were going to go to at halftime down on the field with our sideline reporter Clayton Pate, as former South Kitsap High School student and outstanding athlete Willie Bloomquist. And we are not going to be able to have that interview with Willie Bloomquist as the microphone is not working. So that is really a shame, but it's really good to see Willie back here in town. And he's such a great guy. We'd love to have him whenever we can. As South Kitsap comes back in the game. He's drilled! Oh my gosh, we're going to talk about get out of the kitchen. That's number 40, Dave Shoemaker. As South Kitsap is going to call their last timeout here. Pease couldn't see him coming from his side as he was looking to his left, and he was just taken down by Shoemaker. What a hit.
The right side of the South Kitsap offensive line, absolutely sold out. Kyle Pease, no block, no crack, no nothing. Pease gets dropped for a big loss. Out of field goal range at this point, and we need to go for 6.
South Kitsap was unable to pick up, looked like a blitz there, and just a little too much. And there was only a loss of about 6 on the play, and so it's going to be 3rd and long for the Wolves at their own 20, we'll call it the 26-yard line, with 11 seconds left here remaining in the first half. So Wolves poised to go into the end zone. A real big pass play from Kyle Pease to Monty Enyart down to the 20-yard line. And they just had a loss on the play with a sack. as the Wolves come back out here. And clock management is now at time. They're going to have to get the ball and stop the clock out to the sideline or get that ball into the end zone as Pease is looking for a man, and he's going to throw it up, and he doesn't. Oh, he just on the outstretched hands of, that is Parker. That's David Parker, and it was just a hair bit overthrown. A nice pass play, though.
Had his man beat, ready to catch the reception for 6.
That was a nice ball by Pease, but just a wee bit too far.
Beautiful throw, beautiful throw. Man in his face, still got it up, good form and everything. Luck not on our side on that play. Seems like Shelton throws those balls up, they get caught.
And I'll tell you, if Shelton does that again, though, you can count on Pease being on the money to Parker or Carter or anybody who goes in there. So anyways, it's going to be 4th down, and the Wolves are going to go for it here with just over 7 seconds left. This could be the last play of the half, as Pease is looking for a man, and he's going looking for a guy on the slant. He was looking for Parker, and I think that's going to be pass interference against Shelton. Parker was on a slant cutting to the middle of the field. We'll have to wait and see what the call is here, but South Kitsap is exchanging the offense for the defense, and it's pass interference on the defense. So the Wolves are going to have another shot at it here with just over 3 seconds left, and that is going to be an automatic 1st down. Add the penalty to it.
I think you're right, DB. I think it's going to give the Wolves another shot at the end zone.
Pass interference on Shelton, and so the Wolves are going to keep the ball, and they should scoot it forward. It's going to move it much farther. The ball's going to be at the Shelton 13-yard line. So the Wolves are lucky there on the penalty. They're going to attempt. The ball is going to be placed at the 20-yard line, where South Kitsap is going to attempt a 37-yard field goal. So
what do you think? What do you think, DB? Trick play, end around?
Oh, no, they're going to kick it. They'd be wise to kick it, and I just don't see any trickery here. But after the penalty, a big play, the pass was incomplete. David Parker running a slant pattern to the middle of the field, but pass interference gives the penalty to the Wolves, and they are able to move the ball closer. And so now they're going to have a shot at points here to take. They could go ahead 10-7 at halftime.
Well, Shelton's coach, Coach Hinkle, pulling his hair out once again over a penalty across the middle. David Parker absolutely pushed in the back before the ball even got to him, pushed to the floor, and giving South Kitsap another opportunity here.
Hinkle's going to keep pulling his hair out. He's going to go bald by the evening if he's not careful. So South Kitsap breaks the timeout as they come out onto the field. Quincy Lyman doing the kicking here. A 37-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up, and it is good. Nice kick by Lyman, and the South Kitsap Wolves are going to go into a halftime lead, maybe, but we have to see. There is a penalty flag at the 19. And if it's against the Wolves, they're going to have to come back out here. We haven't seen any indication yet who the penalty is on.
I don't think the officials know who the penalty is on. This against Shelton, it's going to be 3 points. They're going to take a lead at halftime.
The penalty is against Shelton, so the field goal attempt is good, and South Kitsap will take a 10-7 lead here at halftime as we are going to throw it down to the South Kitsap High School Marching Band, and we'll see you in just a little bit.
Go band.
Ladies and gentlemen, the South Kitsap Marching Band under the direction of Jerry Graham presents tonight's halftime show. The band is under the direction of Senior Drum Major James Brennan and Junior Drum Major Honko Lambert. Tonight they will be performing the first two parts of a three-part series, Super Hits of the 70s. The first part will feature the hit song Get Down Tonight, and the second part will feature a medley of La Freak and The Hustle. Drum Majors would like to thank the band, section leaders, parents, and the SKHS District for their dedication and hard work in supporting the band. Ladies and gentlemen, our halftime show.
Hello and welcome back to Joe Knowles Field here at South Kitsap High School as the South Kitsap Wolves enjoy a comfortable 10-7 lead over the Shelton Highclimbers. We've had a pretty exciting first half of football as South Kitsap and Shelton has been battling it out here in this first half. And David, what do you think the keys are for both sides here in the second half?
Well, DB, I think here's a couple of things that I noticed. The South Kitsap zone has got burned a couple of times, especially deep passes from those ducks that number 7, the quarterback for Shelton, keeps throwing up, Pacholke. And the Shelton offense, their backfield is constantly in motion. They've got 3 guys splitting, going everywhere. South Kitsap's defense is really trying to sniff out the football, having a hard time. Shelton's defense, that defensive line is tough. Number 77, the senior, is tough.
Well, South Kitsap is going to get the ball back, and they are going to kick it, and Fowler's going to get it at about the 2-yard line, and he's going to be hit pretty hard. He's spun around and stopped at about the 18, so a nice 16-yard return here. So Shelton did decide to kick the ball deep, and South Kitsap will take over in the first series of downs here to start the second half of play. As South Kitsap and Shelton battled it out in the first half, a lot of penalties, but a lot of big plays. And it should be another exciting half of football here as David Parker is back in at split wide receiver to the near side of the field. Fowler is back in at the tailback position along with Keon Tang. Kyle Pease hands the ball off to Fowler. He just puts his head down and tries to get as far forward as he can. He won't get much on the play as it's going to be, looks like about a loss of about a yard. And it will be 2nd down and 11 for the South Kitsap Wolves. So right off the bat, the Wolves go to the running game.
Number 65, Nathan Kimball for Shelton, talking to John down there on the field, starting his stuff. Trying to keep this Wolves offense on lockdown.
Bonnie Enyard splits to the far side. It's a pretty intense battle going on right here. Both sides are pretty fired up on the ball. Pease is going to look for his man and is out. And he's got Parker at the 20, and he hangs on to it here and is flung around a little bit late on the outside. Tensions are a little bit high here, but a nice pass and catch as South Kitsap will make the completion. A short pass gain here out to their own 21-yard line. So right off on this first series of plays, South is going to be challenged with a 3rd and long here. So South Kitsap will have a 3rd, and we'll call it 7 yards to go here for the first down, as Kyle Pease is going to be looking for Parker and for Enyard, two of his top receivers, and he's going to fake it, and he's going to keep it, and he unloads it just as he does. Nice catch by Parker. David, and he spins around, and his helmet comes off. My goodness, what a catch, the pass play. He bounces right back up, and he makes the catch and gets down to the 40-yard line. David Parker, I couldn't believe it.
The tough guy's helmet comes off. He keeps going. They're kicking the helmet around. He's still running. He's up, and he's down midfield. I hope Mama's not paying too much attention from the stands, because when you see their son's helmet off, boy, that's trouble. But he keeps going. He's pumped up. The South Kitsap offense is fired up. They're ready to go. They're challenging the Shelton defense. Can you stop us?
Parker made a nice catch with a cross route pattern down the middle, and as his helmet went flying off, as Fowler's going to get the ball on a counter, but Shelton is right there to snuff it out. He's taken down by number 36 and number 18, that's Sean Carnahan. So Nice job by Shelton there, staying at home, not going for the play here. South will gain about 2 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 8 here for South Kitsap. But what a play by Parker to maintain his balance and composure, especially after his helmet came flying off.
This is turning into a wild shootout of a football game. A lot of smash mouth running up the gut, a lot of passing, exciting plays.
Pease is going to pitch the ball to the tailback, who puts his head down. That's Tucker, who's back in the ball game again here. South Kitsap sharing the tailback duties here tonight, giving a nice breather, which could help down the stretch here as Tucker gains a few on the play. They went for the pitch, and he was met early, tried to cut back up inside, and he gets a few yards on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 4 yards to go for South Kitsap, but they are driving towards midfield.
Number 77, the big senior for Shelton on the defensive line, in on the tackle.
So South Kitsap in the I formation, split wide receivers. Pease is going to hand the ball off to Fowler. They try to run the ball straight up the middle. Actually, that's Tucker again. They tried to hand the ball straight up the middle, but no gain on the play.
We got a punt.
And it's going to be 4th down, and I'm a little surprised on that play right there where the middle was all clogged up, maybe trying to get to the outside where they've been gaining yardage.
Shelton's defense knew what was coming, snuffed out the play. No chance for South Kitsap's run game on that one.
So South Kitsap here will apparently is going to kick the ball away, but there is a little confusion. And South Kitsap is going to have to burn a timeout here.
Coach
as,
Segerson
number 8, that was Seth Kellogg, who came running out onto the field late, and so they had to call a timeout here rather than take a penalty, although I don't know why they wouldn't take the penalty, because all it would do is just scoot them back 5 yards, and it wouldn't hurt them in the position where they are, and they could have just punted the ball away.
Coach Segerson cannot be happy about that timeout call. He's got to be frustrated. He's got to be he's keeping his cool in the huddle, I imagine. Still needs to communicate to his guys what needs to happen. Take a look at the tape later, go over it later. Right now, get his guys composed, get the punt off, look for the defense to stand up the Shelton offense again.
And I'm sure that they're going to do that tomorrow morning at Films as David Hamrick goes back to kick the ball away for the Wolves. The Highclimbers are going to send back a couple of guys. Now there's 2 of them back there, Burbridge and Espino, and the kick is going to be up. It's going to be taken by Espino, but he tries to get away from it. Takes the South Kitsap bounce, knocks the 20-yard marker, the 20-yard line marker. As the ball goes out of bounds, officially it will be at the 21-yard line.
Beautiful bounce for South Kitsap there on the punt. It rolls out at the 21-yard line. And the Shelton is going to be pinned back against their own end zone. And the Wolves will have a chance to make a big stand here, see maybe if they can get a 3 and out or maybe a turnover.
So a little confusion on Shelton to start off as they send 2 wide receivers to the near side of the field, and they're going to hand the ball off to Espino, but he looked like he hit the back of his own man as Pacholke handed off to Espino, and there isn't going to be much on the carry. We'll call it a gain of 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Shelton. So Shelton still sticking with the running game here in the second half.
Espino eating up small chunks of yards here, grind the defensive line down. It really opens up their passing game when that happens, and we'll look for Shelton to throw something at the Wolves here on 2nd or 3rd down.
Again, and that looks like it's Chapman and Clark. They're going to hand the ball off to Espino again, and he's got it pretty quick, and he's going to be ridden down by number 5 for South Kitsap. That was Bruce Fernie, and if it wasn't for Fernie, Espino would be gone for a touchdown. So a big running play there is going to take the Shelton football all the way to their own 36-yard line. So Shelton, a couple of big running plays here, and they're on the move, getting near midfield.
The Shelton right side of the line absolutely blowing away the left side of South's defensive line.
Pacholke looks over the defense. They're going to send, looks like Clark is in motion. They're going to hand the ball off to Espino again as he gets up to the 40-yard line. Not much on the play. It'll be 3rd down or 2nd down for Shelton.
Espino's got guaranteed gained yards every time he touches the ball. South Kitsap's defensive coaches are going to be getting a little upset about giving up these chunks of yards play after play.
Espino looks like he has hit the line pretty hard the last couple of running plays, and has been able to capitalize on that. Both sides actually looking a little bit sharper with more intensity, as this game is going to be a real close one, I think. South Kitsap leading 10-7. A little confusion on the play here. Matt Tuttle, who from Tacoma, Washington, who is no, we're just kidding there. You know, that's Matt Tuttle from Tacoma, Washington. He's darn glad to meet you. So he was started off on one side and ran off to the other side, but another delay of game penalty.
And Coach Hinkle pulling out his last few hairs that he's got in the game. I think he's going to be down to 3 by the end of the third quarter.
I think he's only got about 3 hairs left, especially from all of the delay of game penalties. But as Tuttle's not really sure if he's supposed to be out there or not. So Shelton, still a little confusion going on here as Pacholke is trying to get the play called, and they're going to try and avoid. Boy, they're taking a long time in that huddle.
They might get another delay of game if they don't watch themselves right here.
They're going to have to hurry up, and it is. In fact, I think that they're going to have to
take
burn a
timeout.
timeout. So a couple of plays right in a row here. And Shelton now, because of a lot of confusion on their side as well, is going to have to burn a timeout just shortly like the Wolves had to just a few minutes ago.
The offense sputtering a little bit. I honestly, Coach DB, I think that their number 7, their quarterback, Pacholke, is still feeling a little shell-shocked from the first half. I bet you he's seen a few stars from some of those hits that he took. A little communication breakdown here. I think he might be wondering where he is at this point. I'd like to remind him he's at Joe Knowles Field here in Port Orchard, Washington, for this big-time Narrows League showdown between the Shelton Highclimbers and the South Kitsap Wolves, where South Kitsap holds on barely to a 10-7 lead, which they established with the field goal at the end of the first half. Shelton doing their best to try to run the ball up the field. They really established the running game, but they're recently been shooting themselves in the foot with some of these needless penalties, delay of game penalties, and giving South Kitsap's defense some breathing room. And now Shelton lining up.
Well,
double eye back.
We'll see if Shelton has finally got everything organized here, as they're going to send Tuttle in motion. They're going to hand the ball off to Espino, and he tries to dip his shoulder down and get through a little bit. He gets close to the 40-yard line, so all of that for just a couple of yards gain, and it's going to be second down for Shelton. And
should be third down.
I think
we're going to find out right quick, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you're right, it is. That's what I thought. It looked like, wondered what the heck they were doing over there on the sideline, but it is. It's going to be third down.
All those penalties got us confused too. It's third down and 6 at the 40 for Shelton. We'll see if the South Kitsap defense can hold them back here.
Barnes is the lone tailback. As Pacholke, he's going to scramble, and now he's being chased out of the pocket, and he's running out to his right. And nice hit. Taken down. That was a nice hit there by number 50 for the Wolves. That's Andrew Thatcher.
Big time hit. Thatcher and number 43, Josh Burlingame, the sophomore, in on the tackle. A really great job of standing up that Shelton offense, catching them when they're down, catching them with a couple of mistakes, making them pay. They're going to be forced to punt. South Kitsap might want to look for a trick here. Stay at home on D.
Pacholke rolled out to his right, got flushed out of the pocket, and he had no options, and Thatcher was able to take him out, and now it's going to be fourth down. And again, there is a little more confusion by Shelton here, as they are going to kick the ball. A high snap, but it's a little kick. Looked like it went off the side of his foot, and it's heading out to the sideline. Not a very far kick.
I think we could have thrown the ball farther from the booth up here than he kicked it.
It's only going to be about a 25-yard kick, and the South Kitsap Wolves are going to take over on downs here, and they will have excellent field position at their own 40-yard line.
South Kitsap really has a golden opportunity here, Coach DB, to punch it into the end zone, take possibly a 10-point lead, and really get these Highclimbers down. Eat up some clock. Put 6 in the end zone before the start of the fourth quarter. That's a real confidence boost for the Wolves.
South Kitsap looking to advance the ball here at their second series of downs. Oh, and he does it. He's got a man open. He's got Parker. Oh, and a nice catch by Parker. And he's going to be down at the 34-yard line.
Who is this Parker? Who is 81?
David Parker with a nice faked the out route, and then he turned up after the corner bit, and Pease threw a nice pass It almost looked like it was going to be just a little too far, but it was a perfect throw by Pease, and Parker was able to get right underneath it and gets the ball down to the 34-yard line.
Number
So a big
81,
pass
Dave-
and catch play.
Nice. Number 81, David Parker, running all over the high climbers. The 6 foot 160 junior doing his best to get these Wolves a lead. We'll see what they can do.
South Kitsap trying to mix it up here as they're going to hand the ball off to Fowler, and he's not going anywhere. He's met by a bunch of those high climbers.
That high climbers defensive line is really sniffing out the run now. South Kitsap might want to look more towards the option or the pass.
Shelton's defensive line doing a nice job. It's going to be, he might have lost half a yard on the play. We're going to call it no gain, where it's going to be 2nd and 10 for South Kitsap in Shelton territory. So South Kitsap with a big pass play, trying to do some damage here with just under 4.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Still leading Shelton 10-7 as Kyle Pease under center, trying to draw the defense offside. He's going to fake and roll out to his left. He's got a man out in the flat. He's wide open. Nice pass and catch. Number 19, Jesse Galligan.
He gets his number called. The 6 foot 185-pound junior gets a big time rollout pass to the left side from Kyle Pease. A very intelligent play from South Kitsap's quarterback, number 11, Kyle Pease, to get that ball in the open right when he needed to.
The pass completion will be spotted at the Shelton 18-yard line. So a couple of big pass plays by South, and they are deep in the red zone. They are in the red zone area of Shelton and looking to get some points on the board.
Define red zone for me, DB.
That would be within the 20-yard line, between the 20-yard line and the goal line of the opposing team, as South Kitsap is in the I formation. Pease takes the center. They're going to have a little counter. The ball is handed off to Fowler. He's not going to get much on the play. Might have gotten 1 yard. No, it looks like that's where they are spotting the ball, that it will be down at the original line of scrimmage, where it will be 2nd and 10 for South Kitsap. So South Kitsap trying to run that ball straight up the middle, but not having much success here.
Their passing game has been much more effective tonight than their running game, I'd say. And they don't want to give them the pass play every time, because then they'll have extra defenders in the backfield. South Kitsap wants to diversify the offense, keep the game on the ground, and then go to the air.
And traditionally, when that passing game opens up, so does the running game. They're going to pitch the ball, and that's Tucker. He tries to find some room, but nothing doing, as he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. So Shelton able to flush out that pitch play to the right side, the near side of the field, and he's going to lose about a yard, and it's going to be 3rd down and 11 yards to go. So a couple of running plays here, and South Kitsap unable to advance the ball, and a big 3rd down play coming up here for South.
We'll see if Coach Segerson's formula of one pass, 1st down, is going to get him the 1st down this time. It seems to have worked so far in the second half.
So South Kitsap now with 3 wide receivers, 2 split to the far side, as Pease is going to roll out to his left. He's looking for a man, and he does, and it's just barely. The pass was a little high to Monty Enyart near the 8-yard line, and still looked like a catchable ball, but the pass is incomplete, and it's going to be 4th down for South Kitsap, and it looks like they are going to attempt another field goal as Quincy Lyman comes onto the field to attempt the field goal.
That's a tough pass to catch for Monty, 5'8.5". Tough kid. You can't be taller than he actually is. He's doing a good job of rolling out. That's a tough pass to make and a tough pass to catch. We'll see if they can convert the field goal here, take a 6-point lead.
The ball will be placed at the 25-yard line, which will make this a 42-yard field goal, and it is just going to be short. So
that's a long field goal for these high school kickers.
The field goal attempt by Quincy Lyman, the sophomore, just a hair bit short. And it looked like he didn't quite get all of that one, but you could see that he's got plenty of leg behind his kicks, and I bet you could give him another shot that he'd make it.
I think so. And if we look at the replay tomorrow in the tape room, we'll see the snap was a little bit high, the timing was a little bit off on that field goal.
So South Kitsap with a missed opportunity here to put 3 more points on the board, and Shelton will take over at their own 20-yard line as they come out in the I formation.
And believe me, South Kitsap's defense is still going to be pumped up. They've got him pinned back after that missed field goal.
They're going to hand the ball off to Espino, and he's got it, he's headed up to midfield. He's got one man to beat, it's going to be Carter.
He's gone.
He escapes his tackle, and just like that, it's going to be a a 80-yard touchdown run. I can't believe it. Espino straight up the middle.
Shelton's offensive line absolutely dominating South Kitsap's defensive line. They weren't even there, Coach. Espino has been running all over him tonight. You kind of thought it was going to happen sooner or later. One play, one touchdown, goodbye lead.
This is the night of big plays as Shelton just scored on an 80-yard touchdown run by number 34, Joe Espino. They go for the extra point. The kick is
Wide
up,
left.
and it is
That's
good.
good.
So just like that, Shelton now takes the lead 14-10 with 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter, as South Kitsap had missed a field goal opportunity, and on the ensuing play, a big hole up the middle, and Espino got to about midfield, maybe about the South Kitsap 40-yard line, was actually chased down by Cedric Carter for the Wolves, but he was unable to make the tackle, and Encino, a big guy, he was able to stay balanced and on his feet and was able to scoot in for the 80-yard touchdown run. So the night of the big plays is still going on.
And Coach Ness, the line coach for the SK Wolves coaching staff, is absolutely beside himself and is letting his linemen know it. Those guys that get absolutely blocked off the line coming straight out of a field goal, they should be fresh and ready. Instead, they get blown away. Quick 6 for Shelton.
So Carter and Fowler will be back to receive the kick from Shelton. Doing the kicking tonight for Shelton is number 30, Jeff Carroll, who's got quite a kicking leg going on here tonight. And Shelton is going to look to try and pin the Wolves deep back here, but the Wolves, there's still a lot of football left here, folks. What an exciting game that we have here at South Kitsap High School.
We've only had a few scores, but it seems like it should be more like 40-30 instead of only 14-10. Up and down, lots of big defensive plays, a couple of turnovers in the first half.
This one's going to be taken by Carter at about his own 4-yard line. He's looking for an opening up the middle, and he's hit pretty hard right there in the middle. Taken down, a nice little return. He's going to get out to about the 21-yard line, where South Kitsap will have field position and take over here. So after the 80-yard touchdown run, Shelton now leads South Kitsap 14-10 with just under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
Boy, on that TD run by Espino, you could tell no one was going to catch him. He turned on the afterburners, and he was gone. Dangerous, dangerous player for Shelton.
South Kitsap breaking the sideline huddle here. They come out in their regular I formation with one wide receiver split both sides. Pease is going to fake the handoff and roll out to his right. He's looking for a man, and he does. He's going down deep. He's got Corey Dane, but the ball is underthrown just a little bit. Actually, that's Monty Enyart, number 3, near the 40-yard line. Pretty good coverage there, and the ball was just a little bit underthrown, as Corey Dane had about 1.5 steps on the secondary, but the pass was incomplete, nearly intercepted, and it will be 2nd and 10 for the Wolves.
Monty Enyart, very capable of making the big play, as well as number 13, Corey Dame. The Wolves looking to exploit the Shelton defense, nothing doing. Shelton almost picking off the ball, and another turnover almost for South Kitsap. South Kitsap's got to be careful here. They're pretty deep inside their own territory.
2nd and 10 for South Kitsap. They're going to hand the ball off to Fowler. He stutter steps near the line of scrimmage, and he is not going to get very far. In fact, I don't think he got anything on the gain, maybe a gain of 1. And South Kitsap is going to have, in fact, the chains don't move, and it is going to be 3rd and long for South Kitsap in their own territory. So Shelton is counteracting with a nice defensive stop here after that long 80-yard touchdown run, as time is winding down here in the third quarter of play.
This is a game of momentum shifts, DB, and right now Shelton's got the momentum on their side. If they can hold the Wolves back on this 3rd down, I think Shelton will be serving themselves quite well.
South Kitsap now with 2 wide receivers split to the near side. Pease is going to roll, and he's got a man out in the flat, and the ball is incomplete. That was Chris Hogan, and looked like he just started to turn and run up the field before he made the catch. And so the Pease did a nice job of hitting him right in the numbers, but Hogan dropped the ball, and it is incomplete, and it is now going to be 4th down for the Wolves. So this will be a punting situation for South Kitsap, and Shelton is going to get the ball back here with just under a minute left in the third quarter of play.
Well, South Kitsap looking for the little drop and pass there. Hogan didn't have the first down, and anyway, he would have been tackled. I think we'd be punting in this situation even if he had caught the ball.
Espino and Burbridge are back to receive the kick from Hamrick. Gets a nice kick up. It's going to be taken by Espino at about midfield. A nice open field tackle by Corey Dame. Nice tackle by Dame coming from the left side. And Espino is going to be down at the South Kitsap 49-yard line. So a nice open field tackle by Dame on the kick. And Shelton is going to have the ball just inside midfield. And they were going to try and sustain a drive here. And one thing that could help Shelton is if they could get some points on the board here and go up by about 10. They couldn't lead by as much as 21-10.
The officials take a timeout for some reason or another. Gives us time to discuss what Shelton might do here. There's a game of big plays.
There is a man actually down on the field, and that's number 86, Luis Alejandre, as he was temporarily down for Shelton, but he is up on his feet and walking off under his own power, which is always a good thing to see. So it looks like that young man might have just got shaken up a little bit here, but looks okay. So Shelton is going to take over here, and we'll have a 1st and 10 at the South Kitsap 49-yard line.
Shelton looking like they can do it with the pass or the run. Second half, though, it's been all run.
Barnes and Espino are in the backfield. Pacholke under center. He's going to hand the ball off to Espino, and fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right. He's got a man open, but it's going to be just thrown a little bit behind him. The intended receiver, I think that was Chapman. No, that's number 7.
I think that's number 3 for Shelton throwing the ball. DB.
That was. They had a switch here. Pacholke was actually the intended receiver, and it was Brandon Heggie who threw the pass.
The 5'9", 155-pound senior.
And they're actually going to do this once again. They're going to send Pacholke out to the right side, and Heggie is taking the center snap now.
South Kitsap really needs to take advantage of this situation.
They're going to hand the ball off to Espino. He tries to go off right guard, doesn't get much, just barely past the 45-yard line. We'll mark it right on the inside of the 45, where it's going to be 3rd down for Shelton. So Shelton kind of switching up position players here.
Coach Hinkle making the call. Maybe Pacholke not as mobile in the pocket as he needs to be, taking some big hits, 4 to be exact, in the first half. And getting the other quarterback in, Brandon Heggie, the senior for Shelton, as time winds down here, 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
Well, if they think they're going to try and outrun Carter out there on that corner, they are mistaken, because he is one fast runner, as they try to hand the ball off to Espino, and nothing doing there. So anyway, so we have that. We're going to come here to that is the end of the 3rd quarter of play, and Shelton leads South Kitsap here at South Kitsap High School 14-10, and we are going to throw it down to Clayton on the sideline. Clayton, what do you got for us, buddy?
Okay, guys, we've had a really interesting 3rd quarter. Now, Shelton's been able to hold South's running game pretty well while picking up big numbers on the ground themselves. On the other hand, South's passing game has been outstanding, and I look for that to carry them pretty far into the 4th quarter. Some big plays by Andrew Thatcher on the big hit on the far side of the field, and number 81, David Parker, caught a great pass on a chair pattern earlier in the quarter. This is going to be a great 4th quarter. We'll throw it back to you guys in the booth.
Well, we're getting ready here for the start of the 4th quarter here at South Kitsap High School, and Shelton is enjoying a 14-10 lead, and they will have the ball, but it will be 4th down, and it'll be interesting to see if they are going to kick the ball away to South Kitsap or if they might go for it. But what a game we have had. We have seen here tonight. It's been sort of the night of the big plays on both sides. There have been a lot of penalties, but nonetheless, we've seen an outstanding football game here tonight, as both teams are now trying to rush out onto the sideline, as Shelton is going to come out here. They're going to send Pacholke to the far side. Now he's going to go back into the huddle, and they have brought in a new quarterback with Brandon Heggie, the senior, as looks like Shelton is going to go for it on 4th down. A big play here.
Look for Pacholke going across the middle.
They're going to try and draw him offside. They almost do, but they still snap it, and they're going to go for the big pass play down, and it looks like it's almost intercepted by Carter. great defense by Carter there. They sent Pacholke down the right sideline, and I don't know why in the world they would try and do that, because now South Kitsap is going to take over on downs, and it's going to give them excellent field position. So that could be a costly mistake for Shelton.
I think Coach Hinkle is he's taken Pacholke out of the quarterback position, but he's still on the field. I think he's looking to Pacholke to still be a leader for the team. Instead of passing a touchdown, maybe catch a touchdown pass or a big gain pass, keep him involved in the game, trying to stroke the young man's confidence, maybe keep him involved in the game.
South Kitsap is going to take over on downs at their own 43-yard line as Shelton went for it on 4th down, as Kyle Pease is going to hand the ball off to Fowler. Oh, and he almost had an opening, but it was a really nice tackle there close to the backfield. Fowler was only able to gain a few yards on the play. We'll call it a gain effect of about maybe 1 yard, maybe 2. It's going to be 2nd and long for South Kitsap. And if Fowler gets through there, he had a lot of yardage in front of him.
That's a big if, and I think the story of the second half has been the Shelton defensive line allowing no yards for the South Kitsap running game.
Pease under center. He takes and hands the ball off to Fowler. He ducks right under a would-be tackler, gets right out to midfield. It's going to be 3rd and short for the Wolves, but an important gain right there. And D-Rod, this might be 2-down territory for South Kitsap.
Absolutely. South Kitsap feels that they got to be a little bit more liberal with the ball, spread it out a little bit more. We're looking at a 3rd and 3. It's kind of a tough call for a coach to make. Do you run or do you pass? What's been working for the Wolves the second half has been mainly the pass because of the lockdown in the running game from the Shelton defense.
South Kitsap with a 3rd and 3 yards to go, and they're going to fake the handoff. Pease rolls out to his right. He's got a man out in the flat. Oh, and he throws it behind him. He had a man open. His intended receiver was number 19, Jesse Galligan, the 6-foot junior tight end.
They're going to go for it, Coach.
But the pass was just thrown a little behind here as they're trying to decide.
Here comes the punting unit.
I think the punting unit is going to come back out. It's a good idea to do that, but maybe just a little too early here with about 10.5 minutes remaining here in the game. So South Kitsap is going to try and pin Shelton deep into their own territory, and then they're going to have to come up with a big defensive stop here as number 9, David Hamrick, will be doing the kicking duties here for the Wolves. And Shelton isn't even sending anybody back, although they are waiting for Espino. Looked like he might go back there. Flags go flying, and it is going to be a delay of game on South Kitsap, which is not a huge penalty because it might give them just a little more breathing room here. I think they may have tried to draw them offside, but anyways, the ball is going to be placed at the 40, just between the 44 and 45-yard line of South Kitsap, as Espino is going to be back, and so is, that's 32, that's Burbridge. So South Kitsap is going to have to kick the ball back to Shelton. A good snap. Hamrick is going to have a nice little kick here. It's going to be Burbridge who fields it just inside his own 20-yard line. Bounces out to the left. He's trying to get as much as he can. He's not going to get too much. He's going to be down at about the 35-yard line, so maybe a gain of about 12, 13 yards on the play, and Shelton is going to take over. So here is a key moment of the game right now, D-Rod, in which South Kitsap is going to really look for its defense to stop Shelton.
Absolutely. Shelton is guaranteed they're going to go back to the running game. If they can, they're going to eat up 10 minutes, 23 seconds off the clock, walk out of Joel Knowles with a victory. South Kitsap's defense has got their hands full, and they've got their work cut out for them also. They need to stop this high climber offense from running all over the field.
So Shelton, with one wide receiver, they're going to hand the ball off to Espino, and he's going to go straight up the middle and doesn't get much on the play here, but the clock is going to be a factor now as Shelton is going to just try and gain as much as they can, as slow as they can, yet still get the first downs, and they're going to hope that they can stall this as much as possible.
I think page 1 of Shelton's second half playbook reads Espino. That's all it's been, Espino, 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 and I got a good TV look at Coach Hinkle on the Shelton sideline. He's got a full head of hair.
Again, Heggie is back in at quarterback as Pacholke is split to the far right side. There's a stutter step run there. That's Barnes with the carry. Actually, I think that looks like Shoemaker. Shoemaker gets the carry. It was either Shoemaker or Barnes.
It's hard to tell in the middle of that massive football humanity in the middle of that pile there. It's hard to tell who's carrying the ball for Shelton.
Well, when the uniform you're wearing stretches your number from one county to another, it's kind of hard to see the numbers clearly. So
number 4,000 for Shelton with the run.
Heggie is still in at quarterback. There wasn't much on the gain. The ball's at the 40-yard line of Shelton, where it is going to be 3rd down and 5 yards to go. So a key moment here for South.
Huge moment.
Trying to stop Shelton as Chapman is split left. Espino goes in motion. They're going to fake the handoff. Heggie looks for a man down, and he's got a hole, and it is caught at
There's a flag on the play.
There are a couple of flags that go flying onto the field. We'll have to wait and see what the penalty is. The officials are talking about it near the 45-yard line where the play is.
I think Heggie took a little too much time in the pocket there. We're probably going to have offensive holding.
Heggie threw the pass. I can't believe that the Shelton receiver caught that. They're so close to intercepting or getting hit. But it looks like it's going to be against, and it is, it's going to be against Shelton. It's a double penalty. It looked like an ineligible man downfield, and then it was a roughing the passer. That's hard to tell because South Kitsap's defense has been right in there just as the quarterback has been throwing the ball. So I tell you, I just don't know how that could be a roughing the passer.
I don't see this as the right time in the game to call that penalty when we've been rocking their quarterback. When South Kitsap's defense has been getting through that line one man at a time and rocking Shelton's quarterback, and now we get a roughing the passer penalty. South Kitsap's going to have to watch out for that. We don't need another. South Kitsap does not need another penalty like that at this point in the game. Give Shelton a 1st down. We're going to replay 3rd down.
So the penalties offset each other, and Shelton will have the ball at their own 40-yard line. Again, another 3rd and 5 play here is Heggie. He's going to drop straight back, and he's going to look out into the flat, and he does have a man. That is Espino, and he's going to make the reception. It's going to be a 1st down into South Kitsap territory. Place the ball at the 46. So a key 3rd down play here, and Shelton gets the 1st.
And Coach Sigerson seems to understand that Espino is a one-man game right now. It's tough to stop him. South Kitsap has to recognize him. Gets out in the flat, gets up the middle. He's going to catch the ball as well as run the ball.
1st and 10 for Shelton at the South Kitsap 46-yard line with just over 8 minutes to play here in the game. Heggie's still in at quarterback. They're going to hand the ball off to Espino, but he's not getting anywhere. Nice job by South Kitsap. They're going to send him back to the 50-yard line.
Gang tackled by a pack of hungry wolves. This defense still alive and well. 8 minutes left in the game. They need a stop.
Forward progress went nowhere but back, and South did a good job of keeping the Shelton Highclimbers in their own backfield. Looks like a loss of they're going to call it 3 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 13 for Shelton. And South Kitsap looking to continue this defensive stop here. Heggie under center. Pacholke is the lone wide receiver. Oh, and I can't believe they just didn't throw a penalty right there. Both running backs started going forward.
That's the 2nd time the officials have missed that call tonight. They've got to start getting it. Shelton's already run 3 minutes off the clock since getting the ball back at the 10:23 mark here in the 4th quarter. Those backfield men for Shelton are constantly in motion, back and forth, back and forth. The officials got to keep an eye on them. Do they cross the line before the ball is snapped? Throw the flag.
A 3-yard gain gets it back to the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 3rd and 10 for Shelton at their own 46 or at the South Kitsap 46-yard line as they come out with split wide receivers. They send a man in motion, and Heggie is going to roll out to his right. He's going to look for a man downfield, and it's intercepted! It's intercepted by Carter at the 25-yard line. He sidesteps, and he's heading back to the left. He cuts right back up in the middle, twists around, and he's going to be taken down at the 30-yard line. An interception by Cedric Carter, and just like that, a big play as Carter kind of comes limping off the field here. But a key play here. Looks like he's cramping up a little bit. But South Kitsap is going to get the ball back at the 30-yard line.
Cedric Carter, a huge part of the game tonight, defensively and offensively. What an interception grab. straight up in the air. The ball was just sitting right there in his hands. Tries to go right, tries to go left, and finds himself tackled at midfield, at the 30-yard line.
South Kitsap with a big break here and a penalty flag. And what in the world is going on here? There is
that's
no
a
way
quick clock.
that could be
clock.
a delay of game because they just switched the sides. That is impossible. So it's got to be, I think it's going to be 12 men on the field. And
On Shelton.
It's a penalty against Shelton. So again, a little bit of confusion on the side of Shelton there right after the turnover.
Coach Segerson came right out of his shoes as soon as that whistle blew, anticipating the delay of game call. They were about 10 seconds off with that.
I think he came out of his shoes faster than we did because if they would have called delay a game penalty on that one, as Pease takes a little three-step drop and he hits his tight end at the 40-yard line, advances forward, it's going to be down at the 46. Nice job there by Pease to hit Galligan, and it's going to be for a first down.
Galligan has to lean down, pick up the ball off his shins, and keeps running, picks up an extra few yards after catch. Good job by Galligan. And speaking of Coach Segerson, looking well dressed tonight, black pants, white polo. No more shorts.
South Kitsap, just over 6 minutes remaining here in the game. They need to have a touchdown as they are trailing 14-10, have the ball at their own 45-yard line. They're going to hand the ball off to Fowler, and he breaks the tackle, gets to the outside. Nice little sidestep move. Starts to fall down, stays on his feet, puts his hand down, is able to stumble farther forward to get the first down. A nice run by Fowler right there. It's going to be first down for the Wolves.
Fowler with a huge stiff arm on the Shelton defender, giving himself an extra 5+ yards to get South Kitsap the first down. Nice move.
Fowler doing a good job of juking and jiving around, and he was able to get a nice gain on the play. South Kitsap now coming out with 3 wide receivers.
Look at Montiani.
Jason Reed into the game. As
Officials
the whistles
timeout.
are going to start, the whistles go flying here again, and officials timeout.
Official out of position on the far sideline. Now we're ready to go.
They had to make sure that the ball was spotted correctly.
Look for Montiani here on the near side.
They're going to pitch the ball to Fowler as he tries. He's got a blocker. He makes a nice cut up on the inside. He fumbles. Then he falls forward and lands on it himself. And South Kitsap just cut another big break.
That is a huge break. The ball comes out of his hands. How often does a runner get the ball back after he fumbles the ball in the open field? Lucky break for South Kitsap here at the 5:11 mark. Another first down. He picked up an extra 5 yards after the fumble.
The ball was definitely bouncing his way on that carry as he made it all the way down to about the 27-yard line. So South Kitsap is on the drive here. And again, now we have a penalty flag down. And this is starting to turn into a circus by the officials here. I'm trying to wonder what in the world is going on. And again, it's going to be on Shelton. So it looks like there was a little bit of confusion going on here.
Coach Hinkle not happy with that call. He's got to be coming out of his shoes right about now. He's going to talk with his boys, win or lose, in the locker room tomorrow when they're watching film about these needless, senseless penalties. We've got a timeout from Shelton to get their heads together and head straight for defense. South Kitsap gets a lucky break with a timeout, a little breather, a little water, come back out on the field.
After the turnover, the interception by Cedric Carter for South Kitsap, and the turnover, South Kitsap has been able to advance the ball here. Shelton has just looked a little bit out of sync on the defensive end with several penalties and with a couple of big plays by the Wolves. And so South Kitsap is going to meet on the sideline here as Shelton calls a timeout. And South Kitsap on the drive, though, they will have the ball at the Shelton 21-yard line. And they do need a touchdown here with just under 5 minutes remaining here in the game.
Field goal doesn't cut it at this point. Got to have 6 and the extra point to keep it within a field goal.
And remember that South Kitsap missed an earlier field goal attempt, so that does kind of force them to get into the end zone. So they break the huddle, come out with 3 wide receivers, and they give the ball off to
number 24 for South Kitsap.
Nice job there by Fowler. Fowler gets the call again, and he cuts off to the left side, makes a cut back to the right for a huge gain. They are down inside the 10-yard line, place the ball at the 8, so it's going to be first and goal for South Kitsap.
Chad Fowler giving Shelton's defense a taste of their own medicine. 5 yards, 1st and 5, or 1st and goal at the 5 for South Kitsap. They're lining up double wide left, single wide right, double I back.
Stephen Tucker comes into the game for Fowler, and he gets the call in a burst of speed. He's able to get down to about the 5-yard line before he's tripped up. But not until he gains about 3 yards on the play. They're going to spot it just inside the 5-yard line. We'll call it 2nd goal from the Shelton 4-yard line.
South Kitsap needs to really avoid any costly penalties at this point. One penalty puts them back 5 yards. It makes it more difficult to get in the end zone, as we all know. 2nd goal at the 4. South Kitsap rolling the dice.
Jason Reed and Monty Enyard are split to the left side. Pease looked like he backed off for a second. He's going to hand the ball off to Tucker again, but he's taken down in the backfield. That's taken down by number 23, Matt Tuttle. And Matt Tuttle says, "How you doing? Nice to meet you."
Matt Tuttle says, "Not on this play." South Kitsap might want to look to get away from that run. They're losing yards. They need a touchdown right now. 2 more plays to do it. 3 minutes, 35 seconds left in the 4th quarter with the clock running. And the South Kitsap runner was sent down and hard on that play.
So with 3:29 remaining here in the game, it's going to be 3rd and goal for South Kitsap at the Shelton 5-yard line. And this will be 2-down territory because South Kitsap needs a touchdown, trailing Shelton 14-10.
Absolutely. There's no turning back. We got to go for the end zone twice. There's no chance at a 1st down. There's no field goal. Field goal doesn't help you. We got to go. South Kitsap has to go for 6, 2 plays in a row. Although they score, Shelton gets the ball back with approximately 3 minutes left. That's a lot of time for this high-powered running game from Shelton and Espino to possibly get down into field goal range, maybe get a field goal, tie the game, depending on if South can score and get the point after a try. South comes back out onto the field. Who knows what they're going to throw at Shelton? I'm looking at a rollout from Pease and a nice little toss into the end zone to Monty Enyard, number 3, the senior.
Well, Fowler is back in at tailback. Enyard looks like a little confusion, does know to go back to the near side of the field. Pease is going to fake the handoff. He's rolling out to his right, maybe looking for a little running room. He has a little room, and he's going to get in for the touchdown. Touchdown, South Kitsap.
Kyle Pease rolls in, beats his man, and he falls into the end zone for the go-ahead touchdown. 3:23 left in the 4th quarter. 16-14. No flags on the field. It's a clean deal.
Kyle Pease had a rollout. There is a penalty flag down. We didn't see it over there at about the 8-yard line, and it looks like it's coming back. So Shelton just cut a big break here. We're going to wait for the call, and it's an illegal procedure call against South Kitsap, so nullify the touchdown.
Didn't see it.
It will still be 3rd and goal for South Kitsap at the Shelton 10-yard line. Boy, I didn't see that.
Gotta tell you, I didn't see it, Coach. For all the illegal procedure we've seen non-called against Shelton tonight, that's an untimely and costly penalty for South Kitsap at this point.
And an illegal procedure play usually should stop the ball, but anyways, the South Kitsap gets it, and they run a little slant play, and it's almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Bonnie Enyard was on a slant from the left side, cutting in. Pease threw a bullet right to him, but the pass was incomplete. So it is going to be 4th down and goal for the Wolves, and they need to get into the end zone here.
This is the game right here. South Kitsap, if they give the ball back without scoring to Shelton, has only 1 timeout to work with. Not enough to keep the clock from running down.
Now South Kitsap only has 1 timeout left. They've had to burn a couple, so this could be the ball game right here. It was 4th and goal. Pease drops back. He's looking for a man, and he's got him out in the flat, and he's going to try to sneak in.
He's out of bounds, no touchdown.
No touchdown. We thought that was Jason Reed. He caught the pass in the flat. He was heading for the left corner of the left side of the end zone. He was getting real close. We thought he might have outstretched the ball to cross the plane, but he did not. And so he was stopped.
Unbelievable, Coach.
He was stopped
Unbelievable.
just short of the goal line.
It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 1 for Shelton.
This is not going to be anything easy for Shelton here with 3:05 deep in their own territory. They're
South
going to
gets
have
up.
to give themselves some breathing room.
They're going to have to get a first down in order to run the clock down. If South can hold them, they'll get the ball back on downs. And they do have one timeout left.
They do have one timeout remaining here. The defense is going to have to come up big here for South Kitsap as they are unable to get into the end zone, trailing Shelton 14-10 with 3:12 remaining here in the game. So Shelton is going to try and give themselves some room here. They're going to hand the ball off. It looked like it was Espino. Heggie still in at quarterback.
That's a shocker. Handoff to Espino, the sure-handed running back for Shelton.
So the clock keeps running here, and I think what the Wolves might do is let Shelton run 3 plays and then call timeout when it becomes 4th down. But time is now precious here for both sides, especially the Wolves. That is going to be 2nd and 8 to go for Shelton at about their own 3-yard line. Heggie under center. They're going to hand the ball off, and they get a bigger hole up the middle. They're
That's
going to
bad
advance it. It's going to be close to the first down.
That's bad news for South Kitsap.
They get just over the 10-yard line, and this is going to be a key play here. I think that South Kitsap, there's going to be an officials timeout. They're going to look for, they're going to bring out the chains and have an official spot. This would be big for Shelton if they got the first down, and it would be big for South Kitsap if they were able to hold them. So we'll see what kind of a spot that they got here.
Here comes Don Morgan and Mr. Posey on the chain crew to measure it out. Give us a good spot and see what happens. I think it's a first down.
And it's just short. It's going to be 3rd and inches here.
Sneaker, quarterback sneaker, give them the first down, and that's the game if they get it.
It's going to be 3rd and about an inch. The ball is going to be placed at the Shelton 12-yard line. So all Shelton needs is just a couple of inches, I think, here for the first down. And if they get this one, it could be all over. But South does have a timeout remaining. So this is a big 3rd down play here for both teams. Heggie is under center.
He's going to sneak it.
They hand the ball off straight up the middle.
And it's a first down.
And forward
progress is going to give them the first down.
That is Shoemaker, and Shoemaker appears to have the first down, and he does, even though the Wolves were driving him backwards.
And some untimely penalty calls from these officials tonight gives Shelton the probable victory.
So with 2 minutes remaining, the clock starts ticking down. A big first down here for Shelton. South Kitsap still has one timeout remaining, but that clock keeps ticking away.
Shelton's got to get some smart snaps and some smart plays off here. No bobbling of the ball.
They're going to pitch the ball to Espino. He tries to dance around a little bit back here, just falls short of the 20-yard line. And South Kitsap is going to burn their last and final timeout here. It will be 2nd and, let's call it 8 yards, 2nd, 7, after a gain of 3 for Shelton. And South Kitsap's going to need a couple of stops here, but I think it might be a little too late.
Shelton going for that running game again. Nothing stopping them this half. I think Shelton's only put the ball in the air 5 or 6 times the entire half. Otherwise, it's been run, run, run. That's South Kitsap's game on their home field. South Kitsap really having no answer for Espino in the second half. The offensive line opening up some huge gaps and really dominating the South Kitsap defensive line in the second half. South Kitsap down to no timeouts, we believe, here in the second half. This is the last 1 minute 37 left in the fourth quarter. 14-10 Shelton. They've got the ball. Shelton's got the ball. South Kitsap desperately needing a mistake, a turnover, anything here. Desperately needing anything. The South was so close to scoring, came up 1 yard short. Shelton is going to see if they can wrap up the game and finish it off. They're going to take a knee.
Heggie hands the ball off to Espino. He's not going to get very far, and he's stood up by a pack of Wolves. But the clock keeps running, and it's going to be the ball will be at the 20-yard line.
If we can stop them on third down, we might get the ball back with about 15 seconds left.
Shelton is going to try and run off as much time as possible, so if the Wolves do get the ball back, there won't be but a few seconds on the clock here, but it will be third down and 6 yards to go for Shelton. So there is a chance that they could get it. They're going to try and run it down here as much as they can.
They're going to keep the ball on the ground. There's no way they're going to pass it and stop the clock.
There's going to be a penalty.
Delay of game against Shelton. The clock stops.
I'm a little surprised about that. Well, maybe not too surprised, I guess, because they will run this next play.
It's going to be a running play. I think they're going to concede the third down, take the fourth down, give the ball back to South with about 10 seconds left. They don't figure South can get their bodies onto the field in time to run a play.
Shelton's going to have to be careful here because they are deep in their own territory. The ball is only at their own 15-yard line, and it looks like South might get the ball back here. But they are going to have to run the ball, which they do.
Roll out.
They're looking for something, and he's going to stay on his feet. That's hanging. He's just dropped hard, but there's a penalty flag that comes flying in.
Could be a hold on Shelton, stopping the ball. Or
And
stopping
there
the
is.
clock.
There's a penalty on Shelton.
It's going to stop the clock.
That is something that they did not want to have happen. And it is. It's a hold. But they are going to decline it. It is going to be fourth down. And so Shelton
is going to punt.
Is going to have to kick the ball away. So the Wolves will get the ball back.
And the Wolves do pretty well in their quick 2-minute offense. I don't think Shelton wanted to do this at all. They've seen the tape on South Kitsap. They know that what Kyle Pease can do. The clock is running. The clock has started. The clock, they ran 10 seconds off the clock. They need to put that time back on before we go any farther.
I think that they're going to confirm that. There.
They started running the clock. I don't know why. I think we've had a little maybe clock malfunction.
There was a timeout that had been called.
And I think the referee's going to ask for some more time on the clock.
And they're asking to have more time put back on the clock. So I think there should be about 48 seconds remaining in the game here.
We're going to see if the clock operator, who's new, will be able to. The clock is new. The clock is new, so we'll see if we can get those operational instructions to the scoreboard operator, and we'll see if we can get that time put on. But this is actually pretty good, Coach, because it gives us a couple extra seconds here to talk about what South Kitsap might do when they get the ball back here. They're going to have 48 seconds left to get the clock straightened out. So when that happens, I'm thinking, no trick plays. It's going to be straight roll-out passes. Kyle Pease is better when he's rolling out than when he's in the shotgun. I think he's really going to look for his targets. So far tonight, number 81 for South Kitsap, David Parker, has been their #1 target. I think we look at the South Kitsap looks at the 6-footer, maybe catch some passes over the middle or up the sidelines for some big plays. 48.1 seconds left on the clock. It's 14-10.
Sean Staten and Tyler Goddard are back to receive the kick. Shelton is going to have a kick, and it is not a very good kick. It's going to be taken by Staten. Their Wolves are going to have really good field position here. They won't have any timeouts remaining, but the ball is going to be placed in Shelton territory. So South Kitsap has a lot of time left here. They've got 39 seconds remaining here in the game. Not very good clock management by Shelton. South Kitsap will have the ball at the Shelton 35-yard line, so there is a lot of time left. However, the time management is going to be key here, as South Kitsap has no timeouts, and the only way they can stop the ball is if they get a first down or get the ball out of bounds. So the Wolves, who sent 2 wide receivers to the left side, are waiting for the official signal for play to start here.
And the Highclimbers drop back in the zone, especially on the near sideline.
Pease has a man out in the flat. It's caught by Monty Enyart, and it will. A nice job by Enyart to get the ball out of bounds.
Smart play by Pease, very smart by Enyart, muscling his way through the Shelton defender to get out of bounds and stop that precious clock. Nice job from the senior, number 3, Monty Enyart.
A gain of 8 yards on the play. It will be second down, and we'll call it 1 yard to go at the Shelton 28-yard line. Pease takes another 3-step drop. He's got and he does.
Monty
Yes,
Enyart
Enyart again. He gets out of bounds.
Another 4 or 5 yards to Monty Enyart. Gets out of bounds again. Nothing they can do to stop him. If that defender collapses too close in, Monty blows past him. Pease is going to have him up the sideline for a touchdown. Got to keep him honest.
South Kitsap just chipping away here. Plenty of time left. 31 seconds remaining here in the game as David Parker splits to the far side of the field.
Let's look at Parker. He's got one-on-one with the safety dropping back to help out on him.
They're looking for the same play again. Pease, he does a good job of just throwing the ball out of bounds. They
Smart.
went for the pass. It looked like a similar play. They looked for the short pass out to the flat on the left side of the field. There was nothing there. It was well defended by Shelton. Pease did the smart thing and just threw it out of bounds. Pass is incomplete, where it will be 2nd and 10 for the Wolves.
They better get the play off or it's going to be another delay of game. We got to get this play in and out.
So with 27 seconds remaining, the ball is placed at the 27-yard line. South Kitsap will have a 2nd and 10, and all they need to do is get the ball to the 17-yard line. Pease is going to roll out to his left. He's looking for a man. He's going to get hit. As he does, and he's going to overthrow Jason Reed.
By about 1 or 2 yards over his head. He knew the guy was coming. Pease is smart. He knew there was a man coming from his right side. He could see him. Pease doesn't get blindsided very often.
Pease was flushed out to the pocket as he was rolling to the left, and he was hit pretty hard just as he released the pass. It went over the head of Jason Reed just a little too much, and it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Wolves at the Shelton. Well, sorry, that's not the 27. That's the 22-yard line. So South Kitsap needs to get down to about the Shelton 12 for a first down, which they can get here. So Pease drops back. He's looking for a man, and he's got him out in the flat. It's a nice catch. That's Jason Reed.
Only a couple yards on the play, about 5 yards maybe. They're going to have a 4th and 5 at about the 17 or 18-yard line. We'll see if they can convert. They have to, or the game's over.
South Kitsap has a couple of options here. They are going with the short passing game, and the Wolves can still get a first down, but they need to get to 4 more yards to the Shelton 12-yard line. So they can either get the ball into the end zone or they can get it to that 12-yard line. And with 18 seconds left, a big play here for South Kitsap. Pease drops back and he's got somebody open. And he does! Touchdown, South Kitsap, Jason Reed! And the Wolves go ahead here with 13 seconds left in the game. No penalty flag.
Over the middle, touchdown, big time. South Kitsap, listen to this hometown crowd going nuts.
What a great call by the South Kitsap coaches. They've been going with the short stuff. They kept going with the short passing game to the flat, and they looked like they were running a similar play, but they sent Jason Reed on the slant down the middle. A little confusion on the Shelton defense. The pass was complete. Touchdown South Kitsap for Jason Reed. Quincy Lyman with the kick. It is up and good. And with 13 seconds left in the game, South Kitsap just takes the lead over Shelton. How do you do?
How do you do, Coach DB? That was amazing. South Kitsap hung in there. We talked about clock management from Shelton. They gave the Wolves the ball back with 48 seconds left. We talked about how Kyle Pease and the South Kitsap offense really works well in that 2-minute style offense. We might have to rename it the 45-second style offense because they really operated very efficiently, pounding the ball to the left sideline, pounding it to the left sideline. Monty Enyart. We get down to the 12, 16-yard line. It's 4th and 4. They go for the play over the middle. The linebackers for Shelton looked like they were trying to blitz a little bit too heavily, a little too hard. Left that middle wide open. Great call by the South Kitsap offensive coaching staff.
What really led up to that was, if you have to look back on it, it didn't look like very good clock management by Shelton when they had the ball, and they were sitting in the driver's seat, but they didn't do a good job of running the clock down, and they ended up turning the ball back over to the Wolves, who capitalized as South Kitsap leads Shelton here in the final seconds of the game, 17-14. But Shelton will get the ball back, so South Kitsap has got to be careful here, as I can only imagine that they're going to try and pin Shelton deep in their own backfield.
The game is not over. The game is not over. We have 13.5 seconds left. The Wolves are clinging to a 3-point lead here in Port Orchard.
So it's going to be a kick, and it's going to be down to the left side. It's going to be fielded by Shelton. That's number 32, who tries to bounce out to the side. Shelton's going to get some pretty good field position here. With 3 seconds remaining, Shelton was able to advance the kickoff return to about midfield.
One play. One play. I bet you number 7.
That was Kyle Burbridge for Shelton, who returned the kickoff back.
I bet you number 7, the starting quarterback, Pacholke, will heave this one up. I bet you he is behind center. Number 3, I don't think it throws that far.
South Kitsap is most likely going to be in a prevent defense. They're going to try and send back some defensive backs. They don't want anything deep here, but they also have to look out for any kind of a screen pass, any kind of a Hail Mary, or there could be the old flickeroo. So we'll see what Shelton does, is that they send trips wide receivers to the near side of the field. Looks like Heggie is still in there at quarterback. A high snap, and they're going to go for the big bomb, and the pass is going to be incomplete, and South Kitsap pulls off the last-second victory. They will beat Shelton 17-14 here at Joel Knowles Field as they run crazy out onto the field.
We don't want any players getting injured there in the mosh pit. The players have left everything out on the field here tonight. Blood, sweat, and tears.
So South Kitsap does an excellent job here. Shelton is just hanging their heads low after they pretty much were in control of this game. Not by a head way too much, but South Kitsap never gave up, never quit. Were able to get the ball back, and they scored on a nice touchdown pass play from Kyle Pease to Jason Reed, who caught the winning touchdown, and South Kitsap defeats Shelton 17-14, and that's going to run South Kitsap's overall record to 2-2 and 2-0 in league play in the Narrows League in the Bridge Division. So on behalf of Coach David Rodriguez, I am Darren Bowden. Thank you guys for joining us here tonight, and we're going to throw it down to the field now for Clayton. And Clayton, what do you have for us down there?
All right, Willie. So it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for your time. So South Kitsap came off a big win at Port Angeles last week, and squeaked one by this week, which makes them a mediocre team. And as a player, you know, it's like to kind of be in that playoff race, and you just got to work harder every day. So as a player, what do you do to prepare for these final tough games?
Well, it's been a while since I played football, but you know, from everything when I follow South Kitsap football, you know, the things I've seen this year, that they've could just as easily be 4-0. So I think they're a little bit better than mediocre. But you know, it's a tradition here that, you know, that they installed in the kids to win, and it's something that's been installed in me and everyone that's come through this program. So you know, I look for big things from them for the rest of the year. They look like they're improving from what I hear from the coaching staff that I've talked to just a little bit, and you know, I expect them to win. So, and I know they expect themselves to win. So look for a lot more wins throughout the rest of the season.
Very true, very true. So you've been playing hard for the Mariners all year, had a long season. It must be nice to just kind of come back home and relax.
Well, I mean, obviously I'd like to be playing still. We still got a week and a half left of the season, but you know, some unfortunate injuries have happened. I've kind of been out of the lineup lately, but yeah, it's always a nice breath of fresh air when you get back here, and it doesn't happen for me too often. I rarely get a chance to get back here, but opportunity presented itself where I was able to get back here and watch a game, with something I haven't done really since I left here. So it was nice to see, and nice to see him win, and great game.
All right, well, once again, we're glad to have you here. Thank you for your time. And that's all for this game. South Kitsap Wolves 17, Shelton Highclimbers 14.